Today, Top 30 is the only company in the world able to design, produce, set up and manage a top-level competition. Everything within the same company. Everything with the trustworthiness and professionalism that an official competition requires. Everything. Top 30. Top 30. The heart of climbing.
Welcome to Chamonix. We're here in the heart of the French Alps to bring you the next part of our World Cup series. Looming over us, you can see the awe-inspiring sight of Mont Blanc, or the White Mountain. It's the tallest mountain in the Alps, in Western Europe and in all of the EU. The peak is a staggering 15,782 feet above sea level. We've had an incredible start so far in the bouldering circuit this year, but here, in one of the strongholds of climbing, the IFSC is getting set to bring you the next part of the World Cup Tour. It's lead season, and here in Chamonix, we're not just having a lead World Cup, we're having a speed World Cup as well. 2 walls, approximately 15 meters high and 6 meters across. That's 1 for lead and 1 for speed. In the lead, our climbers are going to be facing an incline of over 30 degrees, an almost insurmountable overhang, and routes set by some of the best route setters the world has to offer. In the speed, it's all about pushing that 6-second bracket on the 15-meter wall. I'll say that again, 15 meters in 6 seconds. Then again, we are surrounded by some of the best climbers in the world. Ian Fleming, the author of the James Bond novel, spent time here. In fact, his parents are rumoured to have died here in a climbing accident. We have safety officials, it'll be fine. But bearing that in mind, for your eyes only, a view to kill. The world was not enough. We had to build a climbing wall. Let's see which of our climbers have thunderballs and which are left telling themselves to live and let die. It's IFSC Climbing World Cup Lead and Speed Chamonix 2012. Well, a very good afternoon to you if you're joining us in the chat room. We are here in Chamonix. The year is 2012 and we are here for the lead semi-finals today. Yesterday we had all the excitement of the qualifications to put our 26 athletes whittled down from 109 initially. We now have 26 from the men and 26 from the women to start here for the lead semi-finals. I can actually see already we've got our first female climber out on the field, so we're going to have to cut to the wall around about now-ish. Here's a little list of the lead semi-final. But we are away already with Maya Vidmar of Slovenia making a start on the wall. And here she is. And next to her, Christoph Hank of Germany. Maya Vidmar won 6 World Cups in a row in 2007, then injured a finger during training, so had to take 3 months out. Let's hope that that doesn't become a reoccurring injury and affect her here. First at Briançon in 2011, third at Chamonix in 2010, fifth at Barcelona and Cranj in 2011, 26-year-old athlete from Slovenia, you can see there on the right-hand side of your screen. Next to her, Christoph Hank, with a score of 43 on the first climb and 32 plus on the second yesterday. We start today with our climbers in reverse order, so the lowest scoring are going first and we work our way up to the highest scoring. Not too many surprises in the climbers that we have here in the semi-finals. We have Schubert, we have Raymond Julien of Spain, Sachiyama's here, Sean McCall, we have Mina Markovic, Jayan Kim, Johanna Ernst.
Alors l'ouverture a été proposée par nos ouvreurs internationaux. Alors donc la très originale avec ces nouveaux volumes qu'on découvre sur le nouveau mur qui grimpe.
If you are joining us in the chat, don't be shy, come and say hello. Any questions you might have, do send them in to us. I'm Daniel Finn, I'll be with you all day today, taking you through the semi-finals here and then on to the finals later on tonight. 26 athletes from both the men's and then 26 athletes from the women. Battling out today for those all-important 8 places at the final later on this evening. Christoph Hank already off the wall there, 18-year-old climber, lives in Oching. From the youth series, highest placement was 3rd at Veliko Tarnovo in Bulgaria in 2011. Maja Vidmar just approaching the overhang here on our new wall at Chamonix. Was talking to Jakob Schubert. I don't know whether you were in the chat room listening yesterday, but I spoke to both Jakob Schubert and Sean McCall about the wall here. Both of them saying they're absolutely loving the new setup. You can see just there on Maja Vidmar's left foot just how small some of the footholds here are. We're already with our second climber from the men's now. So that is not Christoph Hank. Our next climber is Francesco Vetterata, 44 plus on his first climb yesterday and 30 plus on his second climb yesterday. Francesco Vetterata of Italy.
Toujours ces petits temps qui peuvent devenir des temps de repos pour regarder là en train d'affiner.
20-year-old climber, born in Feltre, lives in Sadico, world ranked 93rd. He's doing exceptionally well to make it into the final 26 here for the men's category. Highest result so far is 26th at Valence in France for the lead there in 2011. And if he gets onto that overhang, he's already bested his best. Because this is about the point on the wall now where Christoph Hank ran into some problems. The climbs that you're looking at, the men's there is ranked at roughly an 8A. The women's at an 8B+. Maja Vidmar already navigating her way around the top section of the overhang there. She's actually in the Slovenian Armed Forces, Maja Vidmar. It's our world rank number 3. A bit of a surprise to have her at the bottom of the category qualifying for the women's. She was world ranked 3rd at the end of last year and she was 7th at the end of 2010. So definitely pushing the boundaries, making her way up. Bit of a more overcast day here today in Chamonix than we had yesterday. Glorious sunshine all day yesterday. Today, some ominous clouds looming above us, threatening to open the heavens, and Maja Vidmar's gone. Very frustrated with that. But a generous round of applause from the crowd. She won't be particularly happy with that climb. Francesco Vetterata still going strong here. And as soon as Maja Vidmar sorted out her harness,
will be set to bring out the next female competitor here, which is Alizée Dufresne of France. There's Veterata coming off the wall there, just at the top part of the overhang, but a fantastic effort to start off today. How are we doing in the chat? Are we excited? What are our predictions as we move through the day, through the semis and into the finals? Anybody got any ideas as who we think will be in that 8? That all special 8? Send them in, like to know your opinions. But here we are now with Alizée Dufresne of France. Big support here from the crowd. We had a huge crowd here yesterday for the speed finals. I don't know whether you were with us for that. We're expecting no less, and in fact probably a lot more here tonight for the lead finals. Roughly 10,000 people, possibly more. Alizée Dufresne now, starting on the world ranked 18th. World Cup rank at the end of 2011 was 17th, and World Cup rank at the end of 2010 was 12th. She was first at the Bouldering Rock Masters in 09, pre-event to the World Championships. 10th at Barcelona, 9th at Valence, 8th at Munich and 7th at Milano, all in 2011, 5th at Perth and 3rd at Innsbruck in 010. Yesterday, 46 on her first climb, 43 plus on her second. And next to her, another Italian climber, that's Silvio Refo, making his attempt at the first problem here. 38 on his first climb yesterday, 33 plus on the second. If you don't understand how the scoring works, just take you through that briefly. The holds are all numbered, if you are new to climbing. The holes are all numbered as they move up the wall, averaging at around 40, sometimes a few more holds on one single wall. Now, if a climber manages to reach a hold, it's all about whether that climber can control that hold or not. And that depends on how the judges watching perceive their attempt on that hold. If they touch that hold but aren't able to cling onto it properly, don't seem to secure that hold properly, then their score will have a minus attached to it as a suffix. And if a climber manages to grab that hold and moves on to the next hold but just falls short of the hold above it, the climbers will have a plus attached as a suffix. And those pluses and minuses can make all the difference when it comes to scoring later on. Alizée, tentative position here. She's got that heel hook in. Right hand on that sloper just above her. Let's see if she can make it onto the next hold above. Quite a few crimps there on the female wall as well. At least they're not all in one place today. They are a little bit scattered. Silvio Refo fastly approaching the point where we just saw Francesco Veterata running into problems, and he's run into some as well. Okay, so what's on your screen now is the route for the women. That route is an 8B plus roughly, and that's the route that they're going to be following. Relatively straight up around the right-hand side of the overhang, the bulging overhang there. We did have 4 routes on the wall yesterday, only 2 today for the semi-finals. And you can see that point there just above the halfway mark, where they have to navigate over to the right. And in the background, you just saw Alizée Dufresne coming off the wall around the point I'm talking about. And then we've kind of got that Peugeot sign, the weird Peugeot car sign on the right-hand side there, made out of the volumes there. Quite a few difficult holds there, I can see a little bit closer than you can see on the screen there. Some of them are tucked right inside of those volumes on the inside there. And then, of course, straightening out again to top out there. We're back with our next male climber now. This is Emmanuel Lopez of France. And very shortly, we will be seeing our next female athlete, which is Anak Verhoeven. She'll be coming out for us. Emmanuel Lopez, yesterday with a score of 44 plus on his first climb and 32 plus on his second. 24-year-old athlete, 4th at Linz in the male juniors lead European Youth Series in Austria in 07, and 21st at the IFSC Climbing World Cup in lead in Barcelona in 09. And there, just next to him as he makes his start, we can see Anak Verhoeven. Anak Verhoeven of Belgium topped the first climb yesterday and 37 plus on the second climb. Worth noting, Anak Verhoeven is only 15 years old. And between 2010 and 2012, she's had 10, no less, 10 first place positions at the European Youth Cups and European Youth Series. So definitely a contender here as she starts to make the progression from the European Youth Cups into the Climbing World Cups with the IFSC. Some of the more advanced climbers.
Ça fera 2 ans au mois d'août. Il y a des livres hommages sur Chloé, sur tous ses voyages et toutes ses falaises sur la planète. Vous pouvez les trouver sur la compétition. Et maintenant, on a Anak en Coupe du Monde. Elle est petite, elle a 16 ans.
So still with Emmanuel Lopez and Anak Verhoeven on the wall at the moment. Anak Verhoeven, only 15 years old, lives in Schriek. Those first places I was talking about, some of those 10 first places, was at Voiron, Moscow, twice at Edinburgh, once at Annecy, twice at Cranch, at Pau, Imst, and Veliko Tarnovo. Definitely a confident climber.
Ju, appelle le papa. Juliane, tu vas me répondre, toi. Elle a gagné toutes les Coupes d'Europe, Anak. Elle a gagné toutes les Coupes d'Europe cette année. Tout.
Voilà, le papa il confirme. L'année dernière, elle a remporté, elle a gagné toutes les Coupes d'Europe. Elle n'a pas eu qu'elle a laissé passer. Allez, Manu! Allez, Manu, déjà pour lui aussi, hein, c'était la belle performance de le voir arriver dans ces demi-finales. Maintenant, si vous voulez le voir se rapprocher de la finale, Emmanuel Lopez, il va falloir y aller. Donnez de la voix parce que le niveau de la voix, il est...
Emmanuel Lopez fast approaching the point that we've just seen Francesco Bertarato and Silvio Refo run into some difficulties. It's just above him now, you can see him making his way towards it. And Anak Verhoeven trying to figure out how to get around this bulging overhang in the middle of the wall here. The wall has a 30-degree incline, just over a 30-degree incline. We'll try and get you some shots later on so you can see just how steep the wall is, how much it leans. There's Emmanuel Lopez at the stairs there. There's the female route on your wall now. A lot of support from the crowd here.
Allez, Anak, attention. Hein. Regardez déjà la technique d'Anak Verhoeven. Hein, il y va. Emmanuel, il a besoin de vous. C'est pas la vie tout ce qu'il est en train de faire.
Can Emmanuel Lopez get above these stairs here and secure himself above the previous 3 climbers that have been out here on the wall? Well, he has. This is the highest we've seen of one of our male climbers today on the wall. Looking relatively comfortable there. Despite how small that toe hold that he's got going on the left foot there is. And that's it for Anak Verhoeven.
Ça vous y aurez le droit, hein, parce que maintenant les Coupes du Monde, ça va être son terrain de jeu.
15-year-old climber from Belgium.
Allez, Manu!
Extremely religious.
Tiens, Anna, pendant que je regarde Manu là, je te pose une question. Combien t'as gagné de Coupes de Monde dans ta vie? Combien? Fais le calcul.
Emmanuel Lopez, oh, and he's just gone.
10 Coupes d'Europe qu'elle a remporté, messieurs dames, vous pouvez applaudir les
Exceptionally well there.
Et un big up pour Manu Lopez. Manu, lève les bras. Eh oui.
The crowd supporting him all the way in front of his home crowd. See the appreciation there on his face.
Manu Lopez,
Really
lui,
pleased with that.
dans sa ville, Oloron-Sainte-Marie. Le premier week-end d'octobre, il va y avoir un événement, les 24 heures du mur, c'est énorme. Et cette année, il y aura les grands chefs de Masterchef qui seront là. Et on va leur mettre à la misère, ils feront la bouffe pour tout le monde. Et par contre, pour aller chercher...
And we're back with our next female climber, and that'll be Christine Schranz of Austria. Topped yesterday on the first attempt, 37 plus on the second attempt yesterday. 23-year-old climber, lives in Zams. Straight onto the wall, no hanging about here. Our next male climber will be Kevin Aglé of France.
Les 24 heures du mur, et puis là, on va accueillir sous vos applaudissements l'Autrichienne Christine Schranz.
But we're here at the moment with Christine Schranz of Austria. World ranked 7th, World Cup ranking at the end of 2011 was 8th, and the World Cup ranking at the end of 2010 was 18th. So she's cutting it down, constantly pushing forward, as we often see with the Austrian climbers. Exceptionally gifted, started at a very young age, very powerful climbers. And we are now with Kevin Aglé of France, 21-year-old climber, born in 1991, currently living in Nice, the south of France. World ranked 10th. Sorry, World Cup rank in 2010 was 66th. Second at the Male Juniors Lead, European Youth Series in Kranj and Veliko Tarnovo and Imst in 2010 has 3 podium positions straight away there, and was third at Annecy in France in 2010 as well. So we have seen him on the podiums in the European youth circuits.
On vous souhaite la bienvenue, hein, les internautes, régalez-vous. Et lui, par contre, l'enjeu est assez important pour Kevin. De toute façon, il est concentré, normalement, il ne m'entend pas. Et l'enjeu est important parce que lui, il va essayer d'aller viser la finale, absolument, pour essayer de rentrer dans l'équipe de France pour Bercy. Ça serait son rêve, hein, de rejoindre les 5 grimpeurs potentiels pour les épreuves de Nice à Bercy. Même du côté de l'équipe autrichienne, je pense que les qualifications ne sont pas encore déterminées complètement. Christine Schranz, ça doit aussi grimper pour ça. C'est comme pour les Allemands, pour encourager ses gauches.
Christine Schranz, our world rank number 7. First at Barcelona, 8th at Amman in Jordan, 9th at Boulder in the US, 5th at Briançon and 6th at Chamonix. All of those results are from 2011 last year, so she's going to be looking to push into the podium positions again this year. Highest result to date being that 5th at Briançon. Briançon being our next Lead World Cup, so we're looking forward to seeing her there as well.
Parce que bien sûr, hein, le but de ces compétitions sur résine comme ça, c'est à un moment donné de devenir aussi un très très grand falaisiste. C'est quand même ça, hein, la nature d'un grimpeur.
You are joining us in the chat. You're watching the semi-finals here at Chamonix for the Lead World Cup. Last night we had the Speed World Cup. Very eventful final there. We had the world record for the women's speed broken 4 times yesterday. 3 times by one of our competitors and once by another. And that main name that stood out yesterday was, of course, Yulia Levochkina. Really thought we'd see her take gold there. Ended up 4th, so without even a podium position or a medal yesterday, despite breaking the world record 3 times. New world record is now standing at 8.53 seconds on a 15-meter wall, which is just incredible when you think about it. For the men's, currently still standing with Huixin Zong of China at a time of 6.26 seconds. How's everybody doing in the chat? Do let us know where you are, what time it is where you are, how's the weather. That is it for Kevin Aglet of France. No tops so far for the men's or the women's. Christine Schranz is at the same point that we saw Maya Vidmar fall, and she's just gone as well. There on the screen there you can see the first, second and third positions. I do believe that Christine Schranz did just get above that position that you can see Anak Verhoeven in for the second place at the moment. She was very close to Maya Vidmar. She might even have been just above Maya Vidmar actually, but she is now down as well, so no tops so far. Both of our athletes back on the ground, and we're about to kick off again with Mikhailo Shalagin of the Ukraine, well-known climber. We've seen him at the bouldering circuit this year. 44 plus on his first attempt yesterday and a 32 plus on his second. And for the women's, we'll be joined by Jenny Levada of Italy. Had a bit of difficulty on the first climb yesterday. See the frustration on her face. I actually saw her having a chat, quite emotional chat with her coach after that first climb. 35 plus on the first climb yesterday, because she came back and was one of the only climbers to top out on the second climb for her there.
Il a des muscles que nous on n'a pas, ça c'est sûr. Et bien à côté, ça fait au moins 10 ans qu'elle vient grimper sur le circuit mondial. Elle, c'est la leader de l'équipe italienne. Elle aussi, elle a un petit truc en plus des autres, c'est que
no waiting around for Mikhailo Shalagin.
En Coupe du Monde.
Straight on the wall.
Elle a aussi gagné beaucoup de podiums en Coupe du Monde de cascade de glace. C'est Jenny Levada.
30-year-old athlete born in 1982, currently lives in Odessa. World rank 38, so he's doing exceptionally well to be where he is today, in the top 26 from the qualifications, making it through to the semi-finals. World Cup rank at the end of 2011 was 37th, so he's currently down from where he ended up last year. Was first at the IFSC Bouldering World Cup in Erlangen, Germany in 2007. Predominantly a boulderer, fifth at Munich in 2011. As I said, we see him on the bouldering circuit. He's been with us quite a few of those World Cups so far this year.
Il faut toujours arriver à mousquetonner la dégaine dans une position confortable et jamais se mettre en échec.
And next to him, Jenny Levada, the 28-year-old climber, born in 1984 in Marostica, currently living in Moradi, Bolvena. 11th at Cranj, 7th at Amman, 15th at Purs, and 5th at Log Dragomir in the bouldering there, and those are all in 2011. Currently world rank 15th though. World rank at the end of the World Cup last year was 14th, and before that, the year before that, 2010, was 25th. So the highest she's been was in 2011. Currently one place down on that on the world rankings. She's never had a podium position, Jenny Levada. Not at the IFSC World Cups, at any rate. So let's send her some support, try and get her up into the final and see if we can get that podium position that she seeks. Fantastic expression on his face then as well as he came up. I don't know what that was, but I'm not doing it.
Alors lui, on le verra fin juillet à l'Argentière-l'ABC pour le retour de l'Open international de bloc. Ça aussi, ça nous fait plaisir. Ça fait quelques années qu'on n'avait plus de bloc en France. Au niveau mondial, ben là ça revient juste en dessous de Briançon à l'Argentière-l'ABC. Allez Jenny. Allez Jenny. Jenny c'est pareil, hein, sur les 3 dernières années, elle a quand même eu une année de blessure, ça c'était il y a 3 ans. Là cette année elle est quand même bien. Hein.
There you can see the current rankings
un mental incroyable parce que souvent on voit en escalade les
Matt
jeunes
Wittmark
arriver
currently
avec
making
des
the highest point in the wall with a 37.
Après l'expérience joue beaucoup aussi. Allez, Jedidai. Et on va accueillir maintenant le premier espagnol, s'il vous plaît. First climber from Spain, Mr. Eduard Marin Garcia. Espagne. Espagne qui est une des nations avec le plus grand nombre de titres de champion du monde. Hein. Ramon Roulin Puiglantier et puis Pachi Uzobiaga, ils s'en sont enchaînés quand même un wagon des titres mondiaux.
So our next male athlete is out here.
Alors là, pour l'encourager,
And that'll be Michaelo Marin Garcia. Yesterday, a score of 43, and then 33 plus, which puts him 7th in our order today.
On ne peut pas lui dire, ça va être super dur. Non, non, on n'a rien le droit de dire parce que la compétition est à vue. Hier, on pouvait le dire. Aujourd'hui.
An interesting perspective shot there.
Donc là, c'est
Jenny Levada.
dans les moments où on va être tendu, d'adapter ses temps de repos.
As I said, that is not Michaelo Shaligan. That is, in fact, there it is, Eduard Marin Garcia of Spain. 26-year-old athlete, born in 85, lives in Barcelona, world ranked 60. World ranked in 2011 to 60. Really frustration there for Jenny Levada. I think he just missed it. But that was quite a scream as she came up the wall there.
Bon, là évidemment, hein, c'est l'énervement parce que c'est important d'aller chercher sa place en finale. De toute façon, vous ne verrez jamais un grimpeur heureux tant qu'il n'a pas mousquetonné la dernière dégaine.
Eduard Marin Garcia, 16th at Barcelona.
Même s'il tombe à
In the Lead World Cup there in 2011, first at the UIAA Climbing World Cup lead and speed in Chamonix in 2006. So he has been a victor here before. 12th at Briançon in 2011. 7th at Imst 2007. And 7th at the UIAA World Cup in Cranch in 2006.
En tout cas, c'est le MHM. Et puis, nos grimpeurs de Chamonix. Ok, Austria. On attaque
Ahile
avec une jeune
was a good climb
sortie
from
de la
there.
catégorie junior autrichienne.
She's currently topping our leaderboard here. Let's hope it's enough to see her through to the final.
Petit modèle de l'équipe autrichienne.
She is our world rank number 3. We hope to see her in the final. We also now have our next female athlete out, and that is Christina Stutz of Austria, another Austrian climber. As we know, the Austrians are very, very strong in climbing, in both the bouldering and the lead. Yesterday, she topped the first route and achieved a 38 plus in the second. The route she's currently climbing is an 8B plus, and for the men's, it's an 8A. Only 21 years old, Christina Stutz, born in 91, lives in Gallenkirchen, world ranked 34th. World Cup rank at the end of 2011 was 27th. 3 times third place on the European Youth Series at Cranch, at Edinburgh, and at Munich in 2009.
L'Espagnol qui en termine, et on va retrouver un de nos grands talents français qui va arriver. Un jeune talent, il est junior. Il est junior et dernièrement au championnat de France senior, il a réussi à se caler sur la 3e marche du podium brillamment.
Here's the men's course.
Il arrive de la région lyonnaise, lui aussi il a souvent remporté des coupes d'Europe.
Bulge there on the left-hand side.
Le classement général de la Coupe d'Europe.
Relatively straight compared to the women's. And here are our highest ranked climbers so far today. Lopez at the top there with 33, Verarata with 32, and Agle with 28 plus there.
Thomas Jones. Allez, c'est parti pour applaudissements pour Thomas Jones, insouciant, dynamique, plein de compétences assurément. Il est en train de faire les séances de photos. Arnaud, méfie-toi parce que tu sais
Vidmar
qu'il
there
est
at the
gaucher.
top of our female group.
Allez, Titom, il a 40 secondes avant de s'élancer. Troisième
More
au
twisty
championnat
turny
français,
than the
je
men's,
vous le
not
rappelle.
as straight. Verhoeven even underneath her with 26 plus, so quite a gap there between Vidmar and Verhoeven. 37 to 26 plus.
C'est là qu'ils font leur plus belle performance. Allez, l'Autrichienne, c'est Götzen, Christina.
Difficulties.
Christina Hopp.
On the wall currently are for the men's an 8A, the women's an 8B plus.
Ça, évidemment, quand le coude se lève, ça leur enlève toute leur puissance. On appelle ça les ailes de poulet. Hein. Et là, elle prend des risques. Elle prend des risques parce qu'elle valide sa prise au dernier moment, une fois que le poids du corps a été embarqué. À mon avis, elle a vite
quite well here.
se remettre dans le rythme de la voie, sinon il va lui arriver des surprises assez rapidement. Ça fait quelques fois qu'elle nous lève le coude, Christina. Ah ouais, là c'était écrit d'avance. Hein. Vous pouvez faire vos petites statistiques hein,
to
de votre
best
côté.
Maya.
Une fois que vous avez compris le coude qui se lève et le pied qui tremble. Le reste, ça va vite. Allez, Titom. Hein. Titom, c'est son surnom à Thomas Johannes.
Height of the wall is around 15 meters.
Il est où, Marco?
6 meters across.
Marco, il est pas là?
It is a new wall here at Chamonix.
Ouais, il y a deux, trois.
Was talking to Jakob Schubert and Sean McCall yesterday, and both of
Allez,
them
vous ne lâchez
complimented the
pas,
new
Titom,
wall.
s'il vous plaît. Lui, c'est déjà beau hein, de choper comme ça. Hein.
Hello from Norway. Hello, Bob.
Voilà, les juges hein, qui s'inquiètent toujours avec cet appui sur la dégaine. Hein. Les
We're now with Thomas Johannes, our next male climber. 44 yesterday in his first climb, 33 plus in the second.
Pour monter. Je vous explique un petit peu les petits coups de stress. Hein. Allez, Titom, hein. Tu fais comme Arnas, Titom, tu serres les dents et tu lâches rien. Chez les filles, on accueille la japonaise, Yuka Kobayashi, Japon. Pareil, hein, Yuka Kobayashi, elle a fait partie des grandes grimpeuses japonaises pendant pas mal de temps. Là, dernièrement, elle a un petit peu de mal, donc il va falloir l'aider. Je pense qu'elle a... On ne connaît pas le symptôme de sa blessure au genou gauche, mais ça doit être quand même beaucoup plus gênant que ce qu'il paraît. Elle a tout juste réussi à prendre ses qualifications.
Thomas Johannes from France, only 17 years old, born in 1994. Rilo Lepap lives in Neyron. On the youth circuits in Leeds, he's had a fourth at Voiron in 2012, so that's this year. Second at Cranch and at Pau in 2011, and fifth at Imst in 2011. And joining him is Yuka Kobayashi from Japan. 24-year-old climber, topped the first problem yesterday, 38 plus on the second climb. Born in Ibaraki, now lives in Nakagun, Ibaraki, Ken. World ranked 31st. That's it for the 17-year-old Thomas Johannes. All of our male climbers seem to be running into problems around that point on the wall where the stairs are.
Allez, tout est possible pour Merci encore, hein, pour arriver à rentrer au
There's a view from above for you. Give you another different perspective there.
Eh ben c'est beau ça, on peut l'applaudir.
Can't actually see the diamond-shaped volumes that Yuka has to navigate around before she gets onto that section of the wall that you're looking at now. That's the top of the overhang.
Allez, Yuka Kobayashi, c'est Gamba pour encourager. Et puis là, ça va être Gamba, Gamba forever, Gamba à 200%, parce que là, c'est mûr 100% japonais. Aux côtés de Yuka Kobayashi, son compatriote, lui aussi, hein, ça fait maintenant presque 10 ans qu'on le retrouve sur les Coupes du Monde.
And that is for the women's,
le japonais.
the one to beat, Maya Vidmar with 37 there. Our next male athlete is out, and that'll be Akito Matsushima.
Le coach général, c'est Kazuhiro.
39 plus yesterday and a 36 plus on his second climb. So best score yesterday of 39 plus.
Il parle couramment français, il les encadre. Et puis, les Japonais en vacances sur Chamonix, on a toujours des milliers tous les ans. Ils adorent venir ici sur le massif le plus visité au monde. Je pense qu'il va y avoir des supporters dans le public.
30-year-old climber.
Kazu, tu veux commenter la voie en japonais?
Itachi Kawashi, world ranked 19th. World Cup rank at the end of 2011 was 17th. At the end of 2010 was 15th. First at the men's bouldering UIAA Asian Championships, Kao Xiong in 2006.
Attends, reste là, viens là. C'est son fils à Kazoo. Alors là, il peut dire la méthode, on ne comprend pas nous. Hein. Donc, là, on fait confiance à l'esprit international. Hein. Évidemment, mon japonais, moi, il est un peu limite. Hein. Alors lui, c'est un futur petit champion aussi, hein, le petit Kazoo.
Good point there from Ahile.
Quatrième à Burs. Compétition l'année dernière, attention, on l'a vu. Encore, allez. Pour les
the
gens
longer you're on the wall, the
japonais,
more the
allez.
lactic acid builds up in your hands. And you can see him shaking them out there.
Voilà, il est motivé.
He tries to decide what he's going to do next. Although we have seen quite a few of the male athletes
Allez, on les lâche pas,
very
en tout
quickly
cas.
approach this point in the wall, and it's here when they start to slow down before they reach the stairs. And it's those stair-like volumes that are causing the problem for the men's.
Allez, Yuka Gamba.
He's about to hit them.
Alors c'est pareil, hein. Yuka Kobayashi, les coudes qui se lèvent, le public, encouragez-les, hein, si vous voulez les voir exploser.
And there's a
les
wide of the wall.
japonais.
You can see the mist on the mountains just behind us.
Alors d'ailleurs, quand on voit
Let's
le
hope it
Japon,
stays
on
away
se
from
rappelle
us.
l'année dernière, il y avait eu un Open international prestigieux au Japon, hein, d'ailleurs, et puis Charlotte Durif avait
So,
terminé
this is how it's standing currently at the moment. A 37 plus for Jenny Levada. Despite the scream as she came off the wall, she's currently top, followed by Schrantz and then Vidmark, with both holding 37 there. Johannes, Thomas Johannes of France, and Lopez of France as well, both hitting 33 on the wall for the men's, and Betterata currently in third with a 32.
Là, c'est le passage délicat, on a perdu quand même pas mal de grimpeurs à cet endroit-là.
But Akito Matsushima has just
Allez, Yuka, elle se repose,
bested
on peut passer un peu plus sur Akito, là.
the highest point on the men's wall.
Akito, Gamba.
Cries of Gamba from the crowd, who are right ahead. He's waiting around.
Et il passe Akito Matsushima pour le moment.
You can see there where the previous men's results were, and he's pushing that boundary now.
Il est inarrêtable, là, ça c'est bon signe, ça sent la finale.
Looking exceptionally strong here, Akito Matsushima. World rank 19th, 4th at the Asian Continental Championships in 2010, 7th at Xining in 2011, 9th at Changzhou in 2011, and he's gone. But smiles all around. I don't know whether he knows it, but he's currently in first place.
Qui prend la première place du classement provisoire.
I thought he was going to go all the way there. I don't know about you guys in the chat.
Alors, et en plus, rapide, hein, Akito. 4 minutes, 3 minutes 40. Hein, il a mis pour arriver à cet endroit de la voie. Ils ont 8 minutes. Hein. Voilà, ça c'est la technique. Tu t'arrêtes pas, tu souffles peu, tu gardes de l'énergie. Parce que les temps de repos qui sont quand même de faux temps de repos. Hein, on se repose pas complètement non plus.
Both climbers now off the wall to get set for our next two athletes to come out, show us what they've got. And that will be Hyunbin Min from Korea. Yesterday, he topped the first problem. Our first male athlete out for the semi-finals that did have a top yesterday. There he is. You can just see at the bottom of your screen the fluorescent yellow top.
Le premier coréen de cet après-midi en demi-finale, c'est Hyunbin Min.
And next to him will be Alexandra Aya from Switzerland. She topped the first problem yesterday and had a 38 plus on the second climb. 31-year-old athlete, born in 1981, lives in Zurich, world ranked 21st. She did have a bit of a problem with the shoulder yesterday. Didn't come out yesterday wearing that shoulder strap, the bit of tape she's got, the blue tape you can see there on the left shoulder. And so now we're looking at our 26 athletes from the women's and our 26 athletes from the men's, pushing their way forward, trying to get the best climb to achieve a place amongst those all-important 8 places in the finals. So 8 for the women and 8 for the men. PDL, no, we unfortunately lost Josh Larson yesterday from the USA, but it was fantastic having him over here. We're not used to having him over here. Well known on the North American circuits. We did see him at Vail in the bouldering World Cup there. Then again, I think we pretty much saw all the US climbers in the world at Vail. I think the only one that was missing was Sasha de Julian, sorry. We did have a lot of the US climbers there. It's to be expected. It's a long way to go for some of our European climbers. If you want to get your hands on the results as they're updated, you can get yourself onto ifsc-climbing.org and you can see the results as they pour in from the judges. Alternatively, you can hit F5 on your keyboard that's just in front of you now. And if but they should be hitting automatically there now on ifsc.tv. You should be able to see them as they're coming in. Well said, Vuzla, in the chat.
Allez, c'est Asia. Et puis allez pour la Suissesse qui est Suisse romande. Une Suissesse romande, donc elle parle très bien français, Alexandra Ayer.
Alexandra Ayer, 11th at Briançon in 2011, 9th at the World Championships in Arco in 2011. But it's looking like we're not going to see her in the final here. And that could be something to do with the shoulder strap that she has on. She was fine yesterday in her first climb of the qualifications, but then we noticed the blue strap that she has there, you can see on the screen, as she came out for the second climb. She's got it again here now, and another one. There's a black strap you can see there as well, just underneath the lateral muscle there, underneath the shoulder. Let's hope she hasn't got an injury.
Et puis elle le disait par contre, hein, même dans l'équipe suisse, la place pour Bercy, c'est pas facile. Hein. Pas facile, il faut aller la chercher, il y a beaucoup de monde. Allez, regardez-le coréen.
So yeah, a lot of you in the chat saying that she just jumped down. What's that about? I think that probably was something to do with the shoulder injury. No strap in the qualifications in the first round. The strap came on in the second climb that she had yesterday, and now today she's got two. So there's obviously a problem there. Such a shame, because she is world ranked 21st, but she was 4th at Chamonix in 2010, so we've seen her in a final here before. It's nice to see some of you guys coming back after the speed finals last night, joining us again for the lead today.
Allez, Yunbi. C'est parti pour Barbara Berrer. On va regarder un petit peu s'il est capable de passer là et d'attraper ce volume.
Doesn't seem to be any stopping Hyun Bun Min. At the moment, he's doing exceptionally well on the males route here. Roughly the same point that we just saw Akito Matsushima at on the wall. Hyun Bun Min, the 23-year-old athlete, lives in Seoul. Can he get any higher than we just saw Akito reach? Oh, he's just gone, but I think that will put him in the lead. Looks to be higher than Akito reached.
C'est engagé, c'est risqué. Eh ben c'est du bon boulot pour lui aussi. Ça peut suffire.
And after he came down the wall then, he's gone invisible.
Encore un peu de monde, mais ça peut suffire.
Jenny Levada there, 37 plus. The one to beat at the moment, followed by Christine Schranz, 37, and then Maya Vidmar with another 37. Those are our top three for the women's.
Allez, on va retrouver un junior de l'équipe italienne.
And for Austria, the next female climber you're seeing right now is Barbara Bacher. Topped the first problem yesterday, 38 plus on the second. 29-year-old from Langenfeld, 159 centimeters tall.
Il est junior, hein, Stefano. Lui aussi,
Relatively mid-height, 48 kilograms.
Et on garde les yeux sur Barbara Berrer. Juste après elle, on retrouvera la Russe
Barbara back at the world ranked number 12. World Cup rank at the end of 2011 was 12th. Before that, in 2010, was 17th. She's been climbing since 1993, but she's very heavily into all of her sports. She's a swimmer, she jogs, and she's into her biking as well. 12th at Barcelona, 10th at Cranch, and 10th at Amman in 2011. And next to her is not I'll Min anymore, it's Stefano Ghisolfi. 44 plus in his first climb yesterday and a 35 plus in his second.
Allez, c'est Dai pour l'Italien, Dai. Alors eux, ils vont arriver à Bercy en pleine maturité, les Italiens.
Stefano Ghisolfi, the 19-year-old climber from Torino, world ranked 28th, but has been as high as 21st at the end of 2010. In his top 12 placings, all top 5 placements for both lead and speed on the Male Juniors European Youth Circuit and the European Youth Cups. We've been hearing sirens for the past couple of days, no doubt. You've heard about the avalanche that we had here in the early hours of yesterday morning. Around 5:30 local time. We had a minute's silence for them last night after the speed finals. The mayor came out, made an announcement here. Currently at 9 confirmed dead, 9 injured, and there are still 4 missing. Terrible disaster we had here yesterday morning.
Allez Barbara, on a déjà vu les premiers coudes qui se sont levés un petit peu. Attention, parce que là le passage, si elle ne se détend pas un petit peu, Barbara Berrer, il va être un peu délicat. Allez Stefano, allez.
And a very good afternoon if you're joining us on the chat. Nice to have so many of you here. Do let us know where you're all from. I'd like to see what kind of a worldwide audience we're receiving here. Trying to push that audience as best we can. Get higher and higher numbers involved. As I keep saying, and I've got to keep mentioning, climbing has been shortlisted for the 2020 Olympics. It could be about to become an Olympic sport.
Vous avez vu là le mouvement de la main gauche, il était un petit peu chaotique. Allez, il faut qu'il tienne le coup. Allez Stefano, allez Dai.
Baffles me that it's not already an Olympic sport, but it's part of a list of 7 sports that have been shortlisted to become one. And then of course all depends on you guys and how much you can get the word out. This really is an incredible sport. Very interesting drop knee technique there from Stefano Ghisolfi.
Yeah, you can make a big applause for Stefano Ghisolfi.
It's cost him there.
Allez Barbara, come on Barbara, come on.
Core, I don't understand why it isn't already an Olympic sport. Absolutely baffles me. Very basic human thing to do. Barbara back is down. She receives a round of applause from the audience. But yeah, as I was saying, it seems to me to be something extremely similar to running or jumping or swimming. And if they're allowed bikes in the Olympics and other apparatus, who's going to hold a rope against us?
Alors chez les garçons, dans un
Nice to
instant,
see you
on
back
va
with us as well, Chris Miss.
le premier des 2 Slovènes à venir. Et chez les filles,
We're getting
on va
set now
accueillir
for our
une
next
demoiselle
two
qui est polyvalente
climbers.
en bloc et en diff. Une année, elle avait terminé
And that will
7e
be
du classement
Yana
mondial
Sherashneva
du
of
général Coupe
Russia,
du monde dans les
topped
2
one problem
disciplines,
yesterday.
bloc et diff.
That was her first
Donc chez les garçons, c'est l'entrée
route
du Slovène
and achieved a
Urban
38
Primožić.
plus on her
Et chez les
second. Here she
filles,
comes now.
l'entrée de mademoiselle Yana Shereshneva, la russe.
And then next to her
Yana Shereshneva,
is Urban Primozic
fille de grimpeurs
of Slovenia.
très très grand grimpeur.
I love being in Slovenia. Many of you are joining us from Slovenia. I love Slovenia. Just to let you know. Very similar to the surrounds that we've got here. Mountains everywhere. Lovely little settlements around. Very fond of the Slovenian climbers as well, of course, as Mina Markovic you've got in there. You had Maja Vidmar was out here earlier. Clement Betchen is another favourite of mine. One of the happiest men I've ever met.
Et chez les Russes, dernièrement, ça se faisait un petit peu rare, les
very addicted to climbing.
De difficulté. Rien à voir avec la vitesse où c'est eux qui tiennent les rênes mondiales.
So both athletes very quick onto the wall now. Now, just to give you a recap of what these climbers achieved yesterday. Urban Primozic topped the first problem and achieved a 32 plus on the second. He's currently climbing an 8A route. The route setters here set on our 15-meter wall.
C'est des disciplines différentes au niveau du travail physique, au niveau de la puissance demandée.
And then Yana Shereshneva yesterday with the top on her first climb and a 38 plus on her second. 23-year-old athlete from Krasnoyarsk, now lives in Moscow. But you're watching our world rank number 8, Yana Shereshneva. 11th at the Bouldering World Cup in Chongqing in 2012, if you caught that with us. A World Cup ranking at the end of 2011 was 7th, and that is the highest that she's been on the World Cup rankings. 9th at Cranch in 2011, 3rd at Valence in 2011, and 4th at the World Championships in Arco in 2011. So just missed out at a medal at the World Championships in Arco, and that's a very big deal indeed.
À part Jérémy Bonder qui nous a raflé un titre de champion de France une année.
Also with Urban Primozic of Slovenia, 20-year-old athlete born in 1992 in Cranch. Currently lives in Skopje Loka, world rank 25th. Seen a lot of finger injuries. As I was saying earlier, Maja Vidmar in 2007 had to quit one of the circuits due to a finger injury. I was chatting to Alex Puccio on the bouldering circuit as well. And also Shauna Coxey. Quite a few of the female climbers at the end of the Bouldering World Cup in Vienna. If you caught that, that was an exceptional final. We had blood, tears, injuries, and just each athlete that came out constantly stepping up the game. But as I was saying, I was talking to Alex Puccio there, and a couple of the female climbers, and I actually got a look at their fingers, and all the ends of their fingers, if you climb yourself, you'll know what I'm talking about. They were just blooded and battered because the skin is so worn away. Chalk can only do so much.
Et alors attention à l'arrivée du petit jeune slovène Domen Skofic, junior, Slovenia junior team.
Still on the wall is Yana Shereshneva, but now we're with a different male athlete, another Slovenian, Domen Skofic. Topped the first problem yesterday and had a 32 plus on the second, so an identical climb to Urban Primozic, his teammate.
Ils adorent venir en France en plus. Allez, Yana de Kelandrey, on l'aide parce qu'elle peut peut-être nous faire découvrir le reste de cette voie. En tout cas, physiquement, elle a l'air d'être facile. Давай, Yana, давай! Давай!
Domen Skofic, only 18 years old, born in 1994 in Ljubljana, the capital of Slovenia. Which again, I'm going to stop going on about Slovenia. If you get a chance to go there, Ljubljana is a beautiful place.
Yes, Yana, come on, давай!
Currently lives in Radovljica, world ranked 15th at the age of 18. World ranked 15th. 12 best results, only 2 of them, I'm going to say that again, of his 12 best results, only 2 of them are not firsts. And those 2 are a second and a fourth. So 11 of his top 12 results are podium positions.
Voilà, Yana, à Bercy au championnat du monde, elle nous fera les deux disciplines, hein, le bloc et la div. Donc ça sera une prétendante sérieuse au titre de championne du monde du combiné. En vitesse, on la verra pas, elle va laisser ça à ses autres copains russes, hein, qui franchement gèrent ça très très bien. Et elle jouera peut-être le combiné avec les deux disciplines. En tout cas, elle pourra finir en finale
Lindo,
sur les deux.
I will have to agree with you on that. I am missing the Aussies big time. I'm so used to having Chris around, especially for the finals. I don't know what I'm going to do in the finals later on. Usually Chris Webb-Parsons is here with me commentating. Corey, there's a gym down at London Bridge if you're interested.
Haydi Domen, haydi. Alors derrière Yana Cheresheva, la prochaine, ça sera une Autrichienne et là ça sera sympathique parce que je vous ai dit que Domen Skopik, il était junior première année, celle qui va rentrer pour l'Autriche. Elle est elle aussi junior première année.
Next female athlete, which will be Katarina Porsche,
pousser
another Austrian
les
climber.
seniors et les doyens de cette
Rather a lot of
discipline.
Austrian climbers. So I'm just going to change those names for you.
La
So
prochaine
that's
Autrichienne,
Skofik that you can see
c'est
on
Katarina
the left there. That's
Porsche
Domen
qui va faire
Skofik.
son entrée.
And on the right, we're about to have Katarina Porsche.
Comme Domen Skopik, ils se connaissent très très bien tous les deux.
As I said, we've got quite a few Austrian climbers
Et elle arrive, la petite junior
in the semis, and I
autrichienne,
expect in the finals here as well. No surprise there.
Elle aussi a déjà
National
2
sport in
ans
Austria.
d'expérience sur l'équipe
Part of
du
the
monde.
curriculum.
On a le droit de rentrer en Coupe du Monde
In
à
the
partir
second-
de
in your
dès
second
la première année.
Instead of
Allez,
choosing
Domen,
just a
regardez s'il n'est pas
random
talentueux ce
PE, you
jeune
can
homme.
specialize in
Ça
climbing
fait
from
maintenant
about the
plusieurs
age of
Coupes
12.
d'Europe qui remportent aussi,
Most
souvent au
Austrian
plus haut
climbers
niveau
can start a lot younger than that as
chez
well.
les juniors et ça c'est
We're an
révélateur. Hein.
incredible climbing gym in Vienna. Saw any of our coverage there.
Et le petit temps de repos, et il visualise encore une dernière fois sa méthode pour éviter l'erreur qu'a failli faire tout à l'heure le japonais, hein, se mettre dans une contre-méthode là-haut sur le volume. On va le laisser se reposer tranquillement, délayer la main gauche et la main droite, et ensuite on l'encourage.
I'm not sure I agree with you there, Dream.
Alors là c'est pareil, hein. Regardez toujours le travail des pieds, hein, le
I've
travail
seen
de
some
pointe de pied,
really,
les
really
crochetages avec
bizarre
le talon.
Olympic sports.
C'est ça hein, qui fait toute la différence en escalade aussi. Allez Domen, allez. Oh, le petit changement de pied là, il était bouillant. Allez. Oh, il va y aller en croisé. Oh là là, soit il lâche le bras gauche et ça va être violent, il est là.
I think speed climbing
Allez, Domen,
is definitely the most exciting when you think
la
of a
montée
very
de la
quick
jambe droite, elle
event.
est violente. On peut
that's it.
l'applaudir, le junior.
Domen Skofik.
Domen Skopik was the winner. Tu vois, Ron?
Yeah, speed is definitely the heart-pounding sport when it comes to climbing. But I don't think that the technical aspects, the more technical disciplines, should be overlooked. If any of you caught the final at Vienna, you'll understand just how excited it can be.
Nettoyage de la voie chez les garçons, après le dossard 13, après le 13e compétiteur. On fera pareil chez les filles. On va profiter de Katarina Porsche.
So here you are, just bringing up another one of our graphics for you. Make some understanding a little bit easier, as you're talking about in the chat. Those are the leaders there. Yana Cheresheva with a score of 38 plus. She has bested Jenny Levada with a 37 plus, and that knocks Maya Vidmar out of our top 3. And instead, we have Christine Strands there with a score of 37. You can see just how close that graphic is, showing you exactly the route that our climbers have to take. There's Katarina Porsche following that blue line exactly. She's got to bear off to her right in a minute, try and get up to where Jana Cheryshneva was if she wants to see herself in those final 8 for the finals.
International, ça aussi, hein, c'est pas facile d'être heureux, il faut toujours être à la pointe du niveau mondial, pas faire des voies trop difficiles, pas trop faciles non plus pour pas qu'on voit 20 grimpeurs sortir la voie sur 26 au départ du demi-finale. Allez, c'est Gutschen. Allez, Katarina, elle est pas mal, hein, elle est bien pour le moment.
And we're just having a bit of a pause on the men's wall while it's cleaned, ready for our next male athlete to come out. Got to get that chalk out of the way.
On soit pas sûr, on ne sait pas, on n'a pas de nouvelles d'Angela Ether non plus. Qui avait gagné plusieurs Coupes du Monde, hein. Entre autres ici, Angela Ether, elle a dû gagner 3 fois dans sa carrière, 3 ou 4 fois à Chamonix. Allez, là vous pouvez commencer vraiment à l'encourager s'il vous plaît. Hein. Peut-être qu'elle sera la première à passer, Katarina Posch.
Try and bring you onto a close-up shot now then of Katharina Porsche. Here we are. Give you a bit of full screen to see exactly what she's doing there. Tiny footholds there for that point on the wall, but it's looking like Katharina Porsche could be the one that we are amazed by here. She's got a drop knee going on there at the top. She's very close here. She's just gone. But I think that's roughly around the point we just saw Jana Cheryshneva at. So let's see in a few moments where that's going to put her.
Elle n'est pas contente, elle parle bien français, Katarina. Elle n'est pas contente. Mais première du classement provisoire, Katarina, ça c'est bon signe quand même. Hein. On peut avoir un petit... J'adore comme l'Autriche parle bien français, ça me fait rêver ça. On pourra peut-être avoir un petit provisoire quand même. Je ne savais pas qu'elle parlait aussi bien que ça. Si elle comprend tout. Ah, il va falloir que je fasse attention aux infos que je donne sur l'Autriche.
So we're having a bit of a pause on the men's wall while it's cleaned. Don't want the chalk building up, affect the climbers. It's got a cool day today, so we shouldn't expect too much clogging. When the chalk heats up, we get a kind of sticky film on the holds. We should be about to bring out our next female climber. That'll be Rebecca Stotz of Switzerland, topped the first one yesterday and a 39 plus on her second route. Only 20 years old, born in 1992, lives in Erdorf, world ranked 24th. World Cup rank at the end of 2011 was 25th, at the end of 2010 was 47th. So she's stepping up constantly. 10th at the Bouldering World Cup in Vienna in 2012, and that's the one I was talking about that had all the excitement in it. 9th at the Lead World Cup in Cranj in 2011, 4th at Imst in 2011 in the Female Juniors Lead European Youth Cups there. Only 20 years old. Rebecca Stotz.
Ensuite, on aura Mathilde Becerra, notre française, et puis nettoyage de la voie des filles. Alors là, sur les 26 au départ, hein, seulement les 8 meilleurs de chaque catégorie passeront pour les finales. Les finales, on va les voir, hein, ce soir, 20h30, présentation des finalistes. 21h début des finales, en simultané, et ensuite 22h45 normalement les podiums.
Making your way between those two volumes.
Ce soir vous n'aurez pas un feu d'artifice sur Chamonix, ce soir on innove, vous aurez un show pyrotechnique qui va frapper, qui va illuminer l'aiguille du midi, si on la voit, et le Mont Blanc. Prenez quand même au cas où des parapluies, hein, des petits kawaii. Ça c'est un petit conseil qu'on vous donne avec une petite polaire. Normalement, la météo nous annonce le temps correct jusqu'à 23h et puis peut-être les précipitations qui arriveront vers 23h. Donc, au cas où, prévoyez de vous équiper. Sinon, on vend des parapluies hein, aux couleurs du club des sports sous la tente 7-4 Richter. Il y a des Suisses là quand même dans le public, il y a beaucoup de Suisses. Est-ce qu'il y a des Suisses? Levez les bras les Suisses, tous les Suisses en vacances, les Suisses romans déjà qui comprennent bien. Ah, il y a des Suisses là-bas au fond, là. Déjà ça fait plaisir. Alors les lâchez pas, hein, s'il vous plaît. Pareil, hein, en bloc, en diff, les Suisses ont toujours été présents au plus haut niveau. En vitesse, on a vu le premier Suisse, le premier jeune Suisse en vitesse.
So, Jana Shereshneva, 38 plus there. Jelly Lavada with 37 plus, and Christine Schranz with 37. The one to beat is Jana Shereshneva, who I do believe that actually Katharina Porsche did relatively well then, so that might be a change in results. We'll keep you updated with that. Just waiting for the judges to send in the results.
Allez Rebecca, allez. Allez Rebecca, allez. Allez Becky, allez.
Rise of Ale for Rebecca from the crowd. Nice support from the French crowd here. Square is already full. A lot of people sitting down.
Allez, allez Becky. C'est pas mal, en tout cas, elle a passé les grosses premières difficultés.
So here's a view from above for you, different angle. We said some people in the chat asking for some different angles. Try and make it a little bit more exciting. We'll try and get you a lower angle as well later, just so you can see the steep angle that the wall's on. It's an incline of over 30 degrees. It takes a side shot to show you that. You'll see if Rebecca starts falls at any point soon, straight down. You can see the angle there of the wall. Welcome if you're joining us on the chat. We're here at Chamonix for the League World Cups 2012. My name's Daniel Finn. I'll be with you all the way through our League Cup here and again at Briançon in a few days' time, roughly a week I think away. Good afternoon to you all in the chat. Let us know where you're from, what the time is where you are. A lot of commitment around the world tuning into these kind of events. We've had people here at 4, 5 a.m. in the morning before from Australia and from the US.
Je voudrais qu'on applaudisse très fort, s'il vous plaît, notre petite Française avant le nettoyage de la voie. Elle arrive de
So we're back
Toulouse,
with our next female climber. And that'll be Mathilde Becerra of France. Topped the first problem yesterday, 40 plus on her second route yesterday. 20-year-old climber, born in 1991 in Laval. 27th on the world rankings. 12th at Barcelona in 2011. Second at the European Youth Series in Kaliningrad in 2009. And 7th at Cranch in 2010. It's looking like on the men's wall, we are very nearly ready to bring out our next male climber. And that should be Gauthier Sopper of France. So we might have 2 French climbers on the wall here in a minute. Australia, 11 p.m. Loving the commitment. Nice to have you with us, Lindahl.
Normalement, elle devrait rapidement se mettre dans le rythme. Mathilde Becerra. Alors elle, sa progression aussi.
Cheers from Slovenia. Are you having a drink? It's only 2 o'clock.
Le Canadien qu'on retrouvera tout à l'heure, Sean McCall, parce qu'évidemment, ils partent tous les week-ends grimper ensemble et ça l'a fait progresser énormément, entre autres. Hein. Elle avait déjà beaucoup de talent, Mathilde Becerra. Et là, avec Sean à ses côtés, bah, tous les deux, ils se...
Ended up in the World Cup rankings 32nd last year. Becerra did. She's currently 27th, so she's on the up. One of the smaller female climbers.
Allez, Mathilde, allez.
Southeast America, 9:10 a.m. Good morning to you.
Allez les copines, les copains de l'équipe de France, là, tout le monde, les Français, tous les clubs.
Korea,
tous les clubs
10
qui
past
veulent
10 at
régulièrement
night.
voir ces demi-finales et les finales.
Hope you're not
Allez.
too tired. Definitely not too tired
Poussez,
to pull yourself away from the screen because we're going to have our finals later on today. We're here with Mathilde Becerra. Just got a hand on one of the slopers here on the diamond-shaped volumes at the very start of the overhang. And we are with our next male climber now from France. It is Gauthier Supper. And the crowd are loving that. Topped his first problem yesterday, 32 plus on the second problem. So an identical score to the two Slovenian climbers, Domen Supper, Skofic and Urban Primozic.
Il a les bras 3 fois plus longs que vous, donc sur le gibon, c'est un extraterrestre, il est inétudiable, c'est un peu notre avant-bras à nous. Et Super Gauthier sur un gros jour, il peut arriver à remporter un podium, on compte vraiment sur lui pour merci, c'est un très grand champion. Meilleur. Il était combien en France? 2, 3?
$6 a.m. in Canada. Thank you, Marcel, for being with us. Loving the commitment. Anybody that's in the chat room right now, do get yourself onto the Twitter pages and onto the Facebook pages. We got to get the word out about climbing. We're talking about it being in the Olympics. It falls down to you guys.
C'est pas des fans des gros temps de repos, ils ont chacun leurs faiblesses et leurs points forts. Et lui, quand même, vous allez voir, normalement, il devrait, je pense, arriver.
Gauthier Supper approaching the start of the overhang here. Just getting a hand onto that first volume on the overhang, of which there are 6. And the last 4 are those stairs that I was talking about. It's where we've seen the split in our climbers between the 4 or 5 that have managed to get above that and the 4 that have been stumped, literally falling down the stairs.
Alors je vous rappelle quand même, en cas d'ex-aequo sur les finales ce soir, eh ben, on départagera les ex-aequo au chrono. Donc c'est toujours intéressant d'être vigilant mais de grimper assez vite. Parce que ça va être le nouveau moyen pour la Fédération internationale de départager les athlètes. Allez Mathilde, elle a besoin de vous Mathilde, ça va être drôle. Elle s'est fait embarquer Mathilde Becerra, on peut l'applaudir, nettoyage de la voie chez les filles.
Round of applause from the crowds there for Mathilde Becerra. You can see that score there as well being constantly updated. Another new interesting graphic we're bringing to you. 31 for her. And here you can see, as I said earlier, I thought it was, and it is, it's Katharina Porsche. That is the new one to beat on the female course with a score of 42 plus. Hyobin Min on the men's is the man to beat with 39 plus, but also Akito Masushima, equal first there, and underneath them in 3rd place, Gizolfi with 35 plus.
Allez, on applique la méthode, la lecture de la voie. Allez, c'est maintenant, hein. Allez, à 5 ou 6 moves, là, ça peut le faire, allez. Allez, Gauthier.
Cries of allez from the crowd, but there goes Gauthier Supper. Not on the point to put any real dent into our scoring for the men's. Supper was stumped at those stairs that I was talking about. Just at the very top of the overhang into the final 3rd section of the wall. And now the female wall is being cleaned, the women's wall. So we'll balance it out again by continuing with the men's. And look at that, that's the kind of view that we're being met with here in Chamonix. That's Mont Blanc, you can see in the background. The White Mountain, 15,782 feet above sea level. It's the tallest mountain in the Alps. It's currently clouded, so you can't actually quite see the top there because those are the clouds that you can see. It's the highest mountain in the Alps, it's the highest mountain in all of Western Europe and in all of the EU. And here is the current lead board for you. So Katharina Porsche is 42 plus, Jana Scherzneva 38 plus, Jenny Levada at 37 plus, Christine Schranz 37, and the cut-off point that's currently standing is Mathilde Becerra. She's the one to beat to get into the final 8 at the finals here.
Thomas Ballet, le français, Thomas Toporn, l'allemand, Victor Extener-Oxania, l'espagnol, on trouvera Mirai Shotnikov.
No one has topped yet. Just to keep you all informed, we've had no tops so far. Here is the men's. As you can see, Hyun Bin Min, but also Akito Matsushima. It says first and second, and that might be to do with the timing that we have here. We did have a joint first. Oh, sorry, no, we're not timing in the semis. It's based on count back until the final. Both athletes with a score of 39 plus.
Le gros prétendant de Bercy, Jacob Schubert. Alors il faut voir si cette année va ressembler à l'année dernière pour lui. L'année dernière, il avait remporté Briançon, Chamonix, toutes les épreuves de Coupe du Monde. La première défaite de Jacob, ça avait été sur le territoire français.
So yep, we're about halfway through our semi-final here. We've had 13 out of 26 climbers gone so far. I'll just try and bring up that first page of the men's again for you very briefly, so we can see who our cut-off point is, who's the one to beat to get into that final 8.
Regardez sur l'écran géant, les talons, les poings, c'est une harmonie vraiment entre les bras, entre les jambes, le gainage des abdos, le dos. Faut pas croire qu'on est bon grimpeur qu'avec de gros biceps de bonnes épaules.
There they are,
Et de bons pecs,
and it's Francesco Vetterata with a score of 32. So to beat 32, that will put you... Oh no, sorry, no it's not. It's Kevin Aglé of France with 28 plus. And we're on the wall now with Mario Lechner of Austria. A 21-year-old athlete, lives in Zurich, world ranked 10th. World rank at the end of 2011 was 10th. In 2010 was 19th, so he's on the up. Several first place positions on the European Youth Series. Trains at the famous Tivoli Center in Innsbruck. And he's on the overhang now. Now he has climbed underground, which is possibly the most continuously steep 5.14 plus route in the world. The roof is practically horizontal for 80 feet, and in that 80 feet you only gain 20 foot in terms of the vertical there, so it's practically horizontal for 80 feet, and he's climbed it. And you can see here how that is helping him get around this overhang. Got a drop knee there. And here you can see the men's route and the current positioning for our first, second and third for the men. You can of course watch the video when it is finished. You can get onto the IFSC website and download all of the videos and the highlights package as well. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube. You can find us on Twitter. It's all there. Whatever you're after. Let's see if Mario Lechner can earn himself a place in the top 3 here and a place in that all-important 8 in the finals. Goes for a dyno, just falls short. But as I said, it definitely wasn't the overhang that daunted him there at all. It's the point just above that.
Il a eu raison de tenter le coup. Terminé pour Mario Lechner qui va laisser sa place à un grimpeur d'expérience, un Ukrainien dans un instant. Et chez les filles, après le nettoyage des voies,
so the female wall is being cleaned at present. We're going to keep bringing you up what the current rankings are, how we stand at the moment. You can see the amount of crowd that we've attracted here in Chamonix. We're going to have about 10,000 plus here for the final tonight. It's definitely going to be an event worth tuning in for. If it's late where you are now, I'd suggest going to bed for a couple of hours and then getting yourself up again later for the final. I'm sorry, Liz, we're not in control of getting the females climbing. I could go behind into the ISO with a stick, but I don't think it would work. We have to have the walls being cleaned, and that is, of course, because the chalk builds up. And the IFSC are renowned for keeping the competitions fair.
Alors le prochain grimpeur d'origine d'Ukraine qui va nous rejoindre. On attend que les juges se mettent au point au niveau du classement. Alors voilà, on me On m'informe qu'en escalade, maintenant, la prise touchée
So, question
n'existe plus.
from
Donc
chat.
finalement, ça
Charlotte
sert à rien de se jeter bêtement.
She's 23rd on our list.
Choper, valider.
We're currently about to see Matilda Söderlund of Sweden. She's 14th, so you got a bit of a wait yet.
Touché. François Léonardon qui m'envoie, à mon ami François Léonardon qui doit être devant son ordinateur en train de bouffer son clavier.
If you are just joining us,
les erreurs de commentaires, il doit se dire, il m'envoie
those
un
are
message, plus de toucher
scores to beat on your screen
cette
right
année.
now.
Voilà. On ne touche plus cette année. Applaudissements pour
And it is
l'Ukrainien, s'il vous plaît.
Like the man cleaning the wall could just be about to beat that. Of course, he's cheating. Kabila is pulling him up. We're back with our next male climber now, though, so we'll bring you back onto the wall. From the Ukraine, we are joined by Valery Kryokov, 44 yesterday on his first climb, topped the second climb.
Marco Scolaris, il valide, il approuve Marco. Il adore quand vous mettez. Marco, il a dit, j'adore quand vous
Valery Kryokov.
Moi, Marco, président de l'IFFC, j'adore. Vas-y, envoie musique Ukraine.
26-year-old athlete, born in 1986.
On est content, hein. C'est un petit peu le terrain de jeu aussi de notre président de
Lives in
l'IFFC. Il a toujours brillé,
Dnepropetrovsk,
Marco Scolaris ici à
world ranked
Chamonix.
18th. World Cup ranking at the end of 2011 was 22nd, and at the end of 2010 was 36th. This man is definitely on the way up. He was 10th at the Rockmaster in Arco in 2011, the pre-event to the World Championships. And he was 14th at the World Championships there in Arco, 2011. 8th at the Lead World Cup in Briançon in France 2011, and he was 8th here in Chamonix 2011, which means he made the finals last year.
Applaudissements s'il vous plaît pour la Suédoise, Matilda Söderlund.
And we are back with our female climbers as well. Our next climber is now out, and that's Matilda Söderlund of Sweden. She topped the first problem yesterday, had a 46 plus on the second climb. 20-year-old athlete, born in 1992, lives in Salzgibaden. World rank 69th. World Cup ranking in 2011 was 68th. Second at Cranch, third at Imst, sixth at Cranch and Edinburgh and Vienna in 2010, and second at Cranch in 2008. And that was in the female juniors lead, European Youth Cups and European Youth Series.
Regardez ça, ça s'applaudit le public, il prend son temps pour remettre le bras gauche. Kryukov. Alors s'il y a des hommes qui veulent aller le saluer à la fin de la compétition, embrassez-le, évitez de lui serrer la main. Ça va vous faire tout drôle.
You are just joining us, you're watching the semi-finals of the Lead World Cup here in Chamonix 2012. We had our Speed World Cup last night, incredibly exciting event. Packed square, and we broke the world record. I say we, I had nothing to do with it. I don't think I could run 15 meters in the time that we saw Yulia Levoshkina do 15 meters vertically. Yesterday, the world record now stands at 8.53 seconds for the women, and still, although it was only just maintained, the world record for the men's in the speed by Quintin Zong is 6.26 seconds, and we did see a 6.27 seconds yesterday. So a 0.01 second difference between the world record. We saw that yesterday here.
On a étudié au moins 8 ans avec le CNRS, on n'a jamais compris le mode de fonctionnement de Valery Kryukov. Par contre, il peut faire mal à tout moment. Regardez ça, pour l'instant, c'est easy mode.
Valery Kryukov exceptionally well here. This will see him onto the top 3 places, I think.
Soit il nous la sort facile, soit d'un seul coup, on va pas comprendre pourquoi, pas fatigué. Bon, ça va lâcher. Allez, Dawa, il touche à
Cries of allez, allez from the crowd as Valery Kryukov gets onto these top 3 volumes here. If he can navigate around these positions, he's a clear run to get to the top. He will be our first top today. Can he reach it? Still going. We'll try and bring you a closer shot now. And he's just gone. That will, of course, put him in that top 3. Up there with our other 2 climbers that are reaching the high scores today. They were Hyobin Min and Akito Matsushima. We're still with Mathilde Soderlund. Valérie is on the floor now. After a phenomenal effort there. Still no tops today here in Chamonix. My name's Daniel Finn. I'll be with you all day today. If there are any questions from you guys in the chat, do send them in. I'll do my very best to get answers for you. If I don't know the answer, I'm surrounded by a lot of officials that do. Loving being with you guys on the commentary so far this year. Had an incredible start to the bouldering season so far. Bit of a rest now from the bouldering as we make our way into our lead season. And here is the female rankings as they stand at the moment. Katharina Porsche from Austria, currently the one to beat with 42 plus. Jana Shereshneva of Russia, 38 plus there. And Jenny Levada of Italy with 37 plus. And we're back with our next male athlete. Another Frenchman, the crowd already starting to show their support. And that will be Thomas Ballet. Thomas Ballet, the 22-year-old athlete born in Dijon, world rank 17th. World Cup rank at the end of 2011 was 20th, and before that in 2010 was 23rd. So he's knocking off the competition. Seventh at the Male Juniors League Climbing World Championships in Sydney in 2008. And he's been up to 10th position here at Chamonix. He did that in 2008. Round of applause there for Mathilde Soderlund.
Congratulations, Mathilda. Mathilda a gagné au bout de ses bagages. Du bruit, Chamonix, Mathilda. J'adore les Suédois, j'adore. Bon, regarde pas tes papiers. I'm 64 Ah, il est bon, le monsieur. Mais aussi, j'adore la Suédoise. I'm 64
And you're looking at now is Thomas Ballet as he makes his way up to the start of the overhang here. There you can see our top three. And yes, Kroikov does make it into the top three. Hopefully we'll see him in the final, but of course we've still got some extremely strong climbers left to come. We've got Sachiyama, we have Ramon Julien Pouplanc, we have Jakob Schubert, Sean McCall, Romain Desranges. So Linus, the difficulties on the wall at the moment. It's an 8A for the men's route and an 8B plus for the women's. Thank you, Ersford. So for the finals, yep, it will be 8 climbers, 8 from the men's and 8 from the women's. So a total of 16. Looking forward to seeing them.
Allez, la russe, c'est à Val pour Evgenia. Et puis juste après la russe, on aura Marie-Thève la française et après on vous envoie la mini-roquette russe. L'arme de destruction massive de Moscou est toute petite, 1m50. Une puissance physique redoutable. Allez Toto, давай Evgenia, давай. Allez Thomas, attention les Français pour Thomas, allez attention. Allez Toto.
Thomas Ballet still on the wall here. We're back with Evgenia Malamid. Russia. For the women's, Evgenia Malamid topped both of the routes yesterday. That's the first female climber that we've seen today that has topped both of the routes yesterday. 25-year-old athlete born in 1987, Voronezh. Second at the European Youth Cup at Cranch in 2006, 15th at the IFSC Climbing World Championships in France 2010. 10th at the Climbing World Cup in Purs in 2010 and 17th at Milano in the bouldering there in 2011.
Et là, il en profite pour le temps de repos. Il a raison parce qu'il sait que les derniers moves vont être quand même bien puissants, bien violents. Et surtout quand on arrive à cet endroit-là de la voie, il ne reste plus grand-chose en patrimoine de résistance. Allez Thomas. Allez Toto, ce bras droit là, il est en inversion au niveau de la main. Allez là, il va envoyer le coup de coude, il est levé. Attention, 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 parce que maintenant tous les moves vont devenir freestyle. Faut qu'il arrive à trouver la ligne parfaite, Thomas Vallée. Allez Toto. Allez Toto. Allez, il s'est remis, hein. Allez Thomas, allez. Allez Thomas. Oh, oui. Allez Chamonix. Allez Thomas, oui. Oh, applaudissements pour Thomas Vallée. Et Toto, t'as été bon, hein, parce qu'il y a un moment donné, il était juste à l'envers dans la méthode. Après, tu t'es remis à l'endroit, devant le gauche, devant le gauche. Tu vois Toto? Et voilà, il s'est coupé le doigt, il s'est coupé. Waouh! Eh ben c'est pas beau. Là, il faut appeler Christophe des experts. Poussez-les. Et ça aide pas. Hein. Ça aide pas quand il laisse des steaks là, sur le mur. Allez, Evgenia Malamide. Et puis, on restera avec un autre Thomas.
What an incredible effort that was there from Thomas Vallée. That's definitely going to put him in our top 3 here. Just to chat to you guys about the difficulties of the routes. I've just been and found the head route setter, so anything that we're finding online or anything that I've been told previously, this is definitely what the head route setter is aimed for in the difficulty settings on this wall. The women's difficulty is an 8B, and the men's difficulty is an 8C. I'll say that again to make sure that you guys are getting that. That's an 8C for the men and an 8B for the women. Our next male climber is now out. It is Thomas Sauporn, our bronze medalist at Log Dragomir for the bouldering.
Allez, Evgenia Malamide, il faut qu'elle arrive à passer aussi. Evgenia, elle est puissante. Evgenia Malamide.
He's only 21 years old, Thomas Sauporn, born in 1991, lives in Shenzhen, world ranked 7th. World Cup ranking at the end of 2011 was 7th as well, and in 2010 was 9th. But the German team is exceptionally strong this year. Quite a few very strong climbers. We saw Jan Hoyer, if you were with us at Vale in the bouldering, looked like he was going to take gold, didn't in the end. Ran into problems on the last boulder there, as did his teammate. EU 8C, is it not too hard for a semi-final? Apparently not. Although we haven't seen the top so far, we've seen some of the men come incredibly close.
Les jeunes ont mis 2 ans à s'y faire et puis maintenant vous allez voir. Hein. Là c'est la nouvelle génération, ils seront prêts eux aussi hein, pour Bercy. Et comme on dit, lui c'est vraiment en actif, ce jeune homme. Là le temps de repos il était quand même celui-là à faire. Hein, sur
of course we saw his teammate Julian Verme as well at Vale. Also running into problems on the last boulder that we had there. But the German team is incredibly strong this year. Their coach is definitely making all the right decisions. Height on the wall is a 15-meter wall, 6 meters across. Keep them questions coming in. I will, of course, do my best to find all the answers for you. We are now back with our next female athlete coming out now. And that will be Marine Thevenet. The French crowd here starting to show their support already. She topped both of the routes yesterday, only 22 years old. World ranked 29th. World Cup rankings at the end of 2011 were 22nd. She was 10th here at Chamonix last year. She was 18th at Briançon and Valence in 2011. Was 12th at the World Cup at Lac Dragomer for the bouldering this year. Thomas Tauborn exceptionally close now. So we're in our full screen, and almost, I think that was at the exact same point that we just saw Thomas Ballet running into problems with, and it was that tiny dyno off those 3 volumes clumped together onto the next hold, penultimate hold on that wall.
Allez les Français, Marine Thevenet, vous la tenez, hein, à bout d'encouragement. Ouais, son surnom, vous allez entendre les jeunes crier « Allez maman !» C'est Mama. Marine Thevenet, elle c'est la grimpeuse de prédilection hein, du club Vertige Glaisé.
We wait for our next male athlete to come and join us. And that is going to be Victor Estela Ocana of Spain.
Là, c'est Victor Esther Oxalia qui progresse lui aussi terriblement au contact de Raman Roulian Plumlanke. Victor Esther Oxalia qui va s'élancer. Ils ont 40 secondes, on vous rappelle.
And here he is.
40 secondes maximum pour visualiser encore une dernière fois la voie, en tout cas dans les premiers moves.
23-year-old athlete born in 1989, lives in Cerdanyola del Valles, world ranked 33rd. Was at that point at the end of last year as well, but was 29th in 2010, 17th at Barcelona 2011, 24th at Chamonix here last year.
C'était le numéro 1 mondial à l'époque, Alexandre Chabot, qui avait tout gagné au championnat du monde. Il nous avait fait 3 dégaines, et pouf, ils étaient évanouis. Donc tout peut arriver au meilleur et à tout moment. Allez Marine, allez. Allez Victor, venga Victor, venga. Alors de temps en temps, hein, mettez une épaisseur de plus, enlevez, à vous de gérer votre thermomètre intérieur. Hein. De toute façon, comme on a dit tout à l'heure, il y a 2 saisons à Chamonix, hein, l'hiver et le 15 août.
Marine Thevenet taking her time here. There is a 6-minute cap on the attempts.
Mais en tout cas, ce soir, ça passera sans
Slow and steady.
Hein. Allez Marine, allez.
Corey, that is quite possibly the most bizarre question I have ever been asked. Do I know who makes Mina Markovic's pants? I'll have a go at finding the answer, but it might take me a while.
Physiquement, elle est d'aplomb généralement. C'est une grimpeuse de diff, une plus affûtée, Marine Thevenet.
I love that some of you guys already know the answer to that. I'm just trying to conceive ways that I can ask Mina Markovic about her pants now without it being offensive. Maybe I'll wait for an interview later on and I'll just drop the question in.
Par contre, il utilisera beaucoup plus d'énergie. C'est pas mal du tout hein, ce qu'elle fait. Marine Thevenet, pour l'instant, elle est dedans.
There you are. Corey, it looks like HRIBB has found the answer for you. There's a link there for you. Positive vibe. Marine Thevenet coming down from the wall, just the very final edge of the overhang there. We're still with Victor Estela Ocana. And there you can see what he has to beat to get himself into the top 3. And unfortunately, it's not going to be today. Very surprised there by coming off the wall. I don't think he was expecting that, so maybe that was a slip as opposed to not being able to hold on. Set for our new climbers to come out and say hello. Mikhail Chernikov for the men. And we'll be joined by Sasa de Julian. I kind of feel like I need to say that with a French accent. She's not French, she's from the US. I'll be telling you all about her in a minute if you don't know her already. I'm assuming you probably do. And you'll have definitely seen her face in the climbing mags.
Elle va être aux côtés de son compatriote Mirai Shelnikov, Russie à 200%. Cette demoiselle, elle était aussi, elle fait aussi partie des.
Oh no, I do apologise. I've had a random jump forward. It's Dinara Fakhridinova.
Cette année de ne pas faire la vitesse hier pour garder tout son influx nerveux, tout son potentiel.
So here we are with the women's lead current rankings. There's our 8th place cut-off point, but we've got a tie at the moment between Yuka Kobayashi and Barbara Bakker with 36 plus each. Then it jumps down to 10th with Matilda Becerra, and it was her. She was holding the 8th place cut-off point earlier. We're going to see that keep getting knocked down. Because as I've said before, our climbers are in reverse order this time, so the ones with the best results from the qualifications are going to go last in the semis. That's why we are waiting for such athletes as Jakob Schubert, Sachiyama, Ramon Julien Poblanca, Romain Desgranges and Sean McCall to come out. And we are also waiting for Mina Markovic, Cheyenne Kim, Joanna Ernst, Charlotte Durif, Ziran Han. Mocha Oda's in there as well, so is Magdalena Rock, who I still think has the best name out of any rock climber I've ever heard. Her name is Magdalena Rock. So I've got an interesting fact for you later about Cheyenne Kim's name, just to spice things up a bit, so stay tuned for that. So, Mikhail Chernikov now of Russia, climbing alongside Dinara Fakhridinova of Russia as well. Chernikov, 27 years old, born in 1985, born and live currently in Grozny. World rank 13th, World Cup rank at the end of 2011 was 14th, and he was 13th in 2010, so he kind of seems to be maintaining an equilibrium around there. And Dinara, he's only 19. Born in Salavat, lives in Gofinsky, world rank 25th, was 34th at the end of last year, but has been up to 21st in 2010. Now, she was a world youth champion, so definitely want to keep your eyes on as you move through that. And that was at Valence in 2009. We do have a world youth champion here.
À mon avis, elle va y aller d'un seul coup, alors que Mirai, lui, il monte tranquillement. Hein. Allez, Mirai, allez, davai, Mirai, davai, davai, davai.
You can see her shaking out her arms and her legs. That's that lactic acid, climber's worst enemy. Apart from falling rocks, of course.
Il est très rapide, hein, ce jeune homme, hein, très très rapide. Là, c'est un petit peu à l'image tout à l'heure de Thomas Topor. Il en est à moins de 3 minutes, il est déjà là-haut. Allez, hein. Davai, Mirai.
Mikhail Chernikov now in a position to make his way onto those 3 clumped together volumes. He's got his first hand on it. Now, can he succeed where all of our athletes so far today have failed. Corey, did you not see the introduction? It's fine, we've got safety officials. That's the penultimate hold. Ah! And it was the dyno again, but it wasn't. I think that's going to put him definitely at the top of our leaderboard at the moment, because it wasn't the dyno onto the penultimate hold, it was the dyno onto the top hold that caused problems.
Good job.
Si, l'année dernière, il était protégé sous un parapluie. Je lui ai dit, mais sympa ton parapluie, il m'a dit. Oui, je suis technologie. Ah, il est content en tout cas de prendre la première place du provisoire. On peut l'applaudir encore dans sa performance.
So, Evgeny Malamid of Russia, currently the one to beat, 45 plus there. Sutherland just underneath her with 44 plus. Katarina Porsche, 42 plus. Now she was top a minute ago, so we've had two climbers come out and best her. And we're going to keep seeing this. As I've said, we're going from the lowest rank from the qualifications up to the highest rank. We would expect, as our climbers start coming out now, to start knocking off the climbers that are currently holding the lead. Shlom, it's nice to see you again. It's sort of half raining here, which is okay. I'm used to that. I'm British. Those clouds up over by Mont Blanc are rolling in though. Let's hope that it stays away. Still with Dinara Fakhretdinova on the wall at the moment.
Il est en retraite maintenant de sa carrière sportive. Incroyable espagnol.
We have our next male athlete right at the point with the very disappointed. Dinara Fakhretdinova there. He's doing pretty well there.
Et là voilà, le pied droit, on va peut-être revoir le ralenti, le pied droit qui slip malheureusement.
Any South American climbers here?
Derrière la petite russe, on accueillera une française, une de nos très bonnes grimpeuses françaises. Si vous la mettez dans le rythme et si vous l'aidez à choper le mental sur cette compétition.
There you are. That's an easy question. There were some here earlier. We had some climbers from. We had a climber from Chile in the qualifications. We also had a couple of climbers from Venezuela, but unfortunately none of those have made it through to the semi-finals. You're currently watching Magnus Midtbø from Norway on one side of the screen. And on the other side of the screen, somebody playing with the camera that shouldn't.
Allez, applaudissements pour la Française, s'il vous plaît, Hélène Janico.
And from France, Hélène Janico, top both of her problems yesterday, only 18 years old, born in 1993. Keep seeing this, younger and younger climbers coming out. We had a 15-year-old climbing yesterday. I think the youngest we have here in the semi-finals is Johanna Ernst. She's only 17, she's yet to come out.
Allez Magnus, if you're from Norway, please make some noise. Magnus is the only climber from Norway.
Hélène Janicot, second here in Chamonix in 2010. First at the European Youth Cup in Voiron in 2012. First at the European Youth Cup in Pau in 11. Second at the World Youth Championships in Valence in 2009. So she's a silver medalist in the World Youth Championships. What a fantastic shot there of Magnus Midtbø we've got for you. That's our above shot. Our camera up top.
S'entendent très bien et il se sert en ce moment de l'énergie de l'Autrichien pour aller chercher les podiums. Magnus Midtbø. Come on Magnus, come on. Et on va laisser Hélène Janico un petit peu évoluer. Hélène sur tous les endroits difficiles s'il vous plaît. Poussez-la. Une fois qu'elle est rentrée dans le rythme, Hélène, ça devient une machine.
Caught me out there, Mark. What I've done is just looked at her bib number as opposed to her age. Johanna Hertz is 19 years old. Thanks for that, Mo. We've had one Slovenian climber already. That was Maja Vidmar for the women's. We've also had two male Slovenian climbers that did exceptionally well earlier. That was Urban Primozic and Domen Skofik.
Allez, encouragez-le s'il vous plaît, le Norvégien. Allez, allez. 3, 4, 5, last move for Magnus Springboard. Allez, Hélène, on est avec toi, Hélène, on ne lâche pas. On va regarder la fin de Magnus, et peut-être le premier.
She was born in 92, Mo. Yeah. I got loads of facts about her later, I'll pull them out. Magnus Midboat, they're getting onto those clumping volumes at the top, which now seems to be the cut-off point for our top-ranking climbers. Helene Janicot, world ranked 19th. World Cup ranking at the end of 2011 was 19, but she's been as high as 8th on the world rankings, which should mean that we could see her in the final here, which would be nice.
Allez, s'il vous plaît, pour Hélène Janicot, ne lâche pas. Allez, de l'autre côté, on va accueillir le seul représentant de son pays chez les garçons aussi. Le seul grimpeur au monde à avoir chopé 5 titres de champion du monde dans toutes les disciplines. Applaudissements pour Sean McCall.
And here we are with Sean McCall of Canada,
Le grimpeur canadien de Vancouver.
the next male climber out.
Une légende McCall qui sera prétendant pour le
Talking to
titre.
Sean yesterday, I know a lot of you were tuning in on the chat to watch Sean,
Il a gagné 2
our only Canadian climber. Men's category here in the semi-finals. We would expect no less from Sean. We've seen him at quite a few finals so far. Exceptionally talented climber and generally a really nice bloke.
Allez Hélène, ne lâche rien Hélène. Allez les Français pour Hélène Janicot.
Sean McCall first at Crunch in Slovenia in 2011 in the lead there, world ranked 6th. World Cup ranking in 2011 was 6th, and look at the jump that he made from 2010 to 2011. He went from 43rd on the World Cup rankings in 2010 up to 6th in 2011.
Vainqueur de la Coupe du Monde à Chamonix il y a 2 ans. Allez oui, allez. Lâche rien, lâche rien. C'est beau.
But look at Helene Janicot now. Oh, she's just gone commentator's curse as soon as I start saying it. But that's going to put her in first place. But she doesn't seem happy about it. She should be happy about it.
J'adore parce qu'ils ne savent pas les résultats. Alors ils sont pas contents. Hélène, tu veux pas monter?
She definitely wanted to top out there, but she's definitely just got into the first place position on the female rankings. And she's happy now. Hey!
Dis-leur que t'es pas contente. Bon, je crois qu'ils n'ont pas le dernier bac. Bon, ça devrait normalement quand même bien se passer. Je ne sais pas si on peut peut-être avoir le provisoire sur l'écran géant. Alors j'ai la phrase.
So hopefully we'll be seeing Helene Janicot in the finals here. As I said, it would be nice.
Provisional result, please.
9 more climbers from the women's. So all that France has to hold on to is the hope that one of those 9 climbers doesn't make it to the point on the wall that Helene Janicot just made it to, and we will see her in the finals and she'll get another chance. Sean McCall now, and just coming out is Sasha. It's Sasha de Julian. I don't know whether you can hear our resident DJ on the background sound that we have here, but he's fantastic. I'll try and show you what he looks like later on. So Sasha DiGiulio makes her start on the wall from the USA, topped both of her problems yesterday. Only 19 years old, born in '92, lives in Alexandria, world ranked 17th, World Cup rank 2011 was 16th, 7th at Boulder in 2011, 6th at Purs in 2011. But let's go and have a look at Sean McCall now. And yes, there it is, our first top of the day. Round of applause from the crowd. And it is, of course, the first top today, Sean McCall from Canada. And that'll put him definitely into the finals later on today. He's pleased with that. Which is great because he was rubbish in the speed the other day.
Moins de 4 minutes pour sortir la voie des demi-finales, mesdames et messieurs. Une ovation pour Sean McCall. Il est beau gosse, il est compétent.
Back on the wall, we have Sasha DiGiulio.
Il ne tombe pas trop amoureuse de lui, hein. Il est quand même avec une non-optique française. Voilà, donc lui, officiellement premier de la compétition.
Try and bring you back onto the wall now. Show you Sasha DiGiulio.
Au moins, les joueurs sont payés côté masculin.
Might you have a chance to show her in full screen? We're still waiting for our male athlete to come out. She's been missing from the bouldering circuit so far this year. She's been off on rock. She's just got back from Iceland. She says that she's loving climbing in Spain at the moment, so she's probably going to be spending a bit more time there as well. Thinking of continuing with some of the Lead World Cups.
Champion de France 2012, ça faisait plusieurs années qu'il attendait le titre de champion de France. 4e année dernière ici, 4e année d'avant.
From Gut in the chat room, GUH. Well said, that is something that I've been talking to quite a few climbers about. It is just as much a mental thing as it is a physical thing. I was talking to Chris Webb-Parsons and to Alex Buccio about their mindset problems that they'd had at the start of this year. Chris Webb-Parsons has turned it around, and it looks like Alex Buccio has done exactly the same thing. Saw some sport therapists. One of the close friends of Chris Webb-Parsons was a sports therapist. Went and had a couple of sessions with him. It's completely turned around his climbing. Okay, Hans, please explain the new rules and timing. Well, the timing doesn't kick in until the finals, and that only becomes relevant if we have a tie. We did have two firsts here last year, and that was Jayan Kim and Mina Markovic. The normal countback rules will apply, it's just the timing rule at the end in case we do have that tie.
If you're from USA, please, you have to push Sasha DiGiulio to the top, please. Les Américains, ils comprennent mon anglais, ça fait de malade.
I'm loving that the DJ's playing well, we're halfway there. Living on prayer. Considering that they are actually halfway up the wall right now, that's some good timing. Roman Esdranges on the stairs there on the male's wall. Huge support from the crowd for him. You'd expect no less being in France. He's a 29-year-old athlete, born in 1982 in Sainte-Colombe, world ranked 5th. You're looking at the 5th best lead climber in the world at the moment. World Cup rank at the end of 2011 was 5th. At the end of 2010 was 11th. He was 4th at Crange in 2011, 8th at Valence in 2011, 3rd at Boulder in 2011, but was 4th at Chamonix in 2009, 7th in 2010, and 6th in 2011. So we're used to seeing him in the final here. 5th at the Rockmaster, the pre-event at the World Championships in Arco, and that was in 2010. Cries of allez from the crowd. Can Romain be the next climber to top out today for us. Sasha and Romain, both at relatively equal points on the wall, but that is it for Romain Desgranges.
Applaudissez-le, s'il vous plaît.
And we're back with Sasha de Julian.
Come on, Sasha, come on. Come on, USA, please. Wake up the USA team for Sasha de Julian. Go, Sasha. Yeah, it's finished for Sasha de Julian. Alors attention, applaudissez-le quand même, Romain Desgranges. Ça va être tendu, messieurs dames. Faites une innovation, il doit être déçu. On va pas dire. On va pas encore donner de résultats, mais
Sasha is down.
ça va être chaud bouillant, il restera.
I'm not sure where that's going to put her in the rankings. We'll try and bring them up for you as soon as the judges have sent them over to us. There's a shot of the surround that we're in. You can see the crowd there. That crowd that you're looking at the bottom, that crowd is in the street next to us. That's not even in the square. The square is completely full.
On va croiser les doigts maintenant pour l'avoir avec nous. Alors côté filles, derrière Sasha.
I'm not sure whether we will see Sasha in the finals now, because as you can see here, 39 for the men's. Valeri Kraukov gets you into the final here, and we'll try and bring up the women's for you just now as well, so we can see the cut-off point there. Just a couple of seconds.
L'incroyable autrichienne, c'est Iran, Anne, Charlotte, Dury, Joanna Ernst qui avait été championne d'Europe senior à 16 ans. Kim Jain et Mina Markovic, de quoi faire rêver tous les hommes de la place du Mont Blanc.
That's the women's speed finals.
Allez, applaudissements pour
Just in case you missed it,
Sashiyama, un grand champion.
you can have a look there.
Et l'autre grande championne japonaise, ça sera.
There we go. Women's lead semi-final. The cut-off point currently is at Jenny Levada with 37 plus. Sasha is currently in the finals, 44.5 plus, which puts her in the top 3. Let's see what happens from now on, though. And back on the wall now, we're with Sachiyama of Japan. Sachiyama, world rank number 3, World Cup ranking in 2011 was 3rd, and World Cup ranking in 2010 was 5th. This man is used to being in finals. 4th at the Bouldering World Cup in Chongqing this year, 4th at the Lead World Cup in Chamonix in 2011, 4th at Briançon in 2011, 2nd at Cranch, Boulder, Hers and Zinning in 2011. Born in Tokichi, lives in Yosumiya-shi. Any of you joining us in the chat room from there, show us your support for Sachiyama.
Oh, faites pas la gueule, vous êtes jeunes. Si, je sens un petit peu là. Ça manque de filles, hein.
Very thin climber Sachiyama. You can see the muscle definition there. Of course, as it is your own weight, you're trying to lug up a wall. It's obviously helped him. There is the men's as it currently stands. Sean McCall, the only man to top so far today. Shodikov underneath him with 40 plus. Magnus Midtbo of Norway with 39 plus. Those are our top 3. And that is where Sachiyama currently is on the wall. And that is how close we can get to Sachiyama on the wall. Adam, Sasha has climbed. You just missed her.
Alors en tout cas, ce qui est sympathique dans cette journée, c'est qu'avec la météo comme ça, couverte, on a eu une équité incroyable au niveau des semi-finales. L'année dernière, il y avait les grimpeurs.
There's a top shot again. Just as he's coming around the stairs there onto the higher part of the overhang. And as the other wall is being cleaned now, let's stay with Sachiyama and see how he gets on when he reaches that clump of the diamond-shaped volumes at the top of the wall.
Gamba, Sachi, Gamba. Allez tout le monde, la Gamba pour Sachi Ama. Lui aussi on ne peut pas s'en passer de Sachi, il faut qu'il aille en finale. Gamba, Sachi.
Thanks for that, Corey. That's exactly what I was just thinking. I was halfway through saying something, and then the shot that we've got up there started moving, and I got completely distracted because of how interesting the shot was.
Un jour tu vas avoir des problèmes. Pour les Japonais, tu vas te prendre 2-3 mawashi, ça va te détendre. Allez, Gamba, Sachi, Gamba. Gamba, Sachi.
So, Sachi is now on to those clumped volumes. That's the penultimate hold he's got there. There's our top shot for you to show you just how close he is and just how close he was. That should put him into the final.
Good job. Second place. Vous voyez, deuxième place, il est qualifié et il est quand même énervé. Il regarde encore ses matchs finales. Je comprends pas pourquoi il a coulé entre les doigts.
Just doesn't stop smiling, does he, Sachi?
C'est de la musique, ça.
And now the DJ is playing Kung Fu fighting. This guy's fantastic.
Sachi,
He just keeps shouting,
Woo!
woo!
Can you go off the stage, please? And put your hand up, and after the people have to make a big applause for Sachi Ama, one of the best climbers in Japan.
So Sachiyama, our world ranked number 3. He's off for a kebab.
Allez, on change la dégaine. Et puis alors attention, lui, vous le connaissez bien. Voilà celui qui a remporté.
We are back with something that is definitely worth watching.
Il est incroyable, il est toujours à la pointe.
It is
Applaudissements
Romain Julian Blanque of Spain.
L'incroyable espagnol. Alors lui, c'est une légende. Voilà, voilà un homme. Son plus gros défaut, c'est sa taille, bien sûr, sa plus grosse compétence. C'est la puissance physique, c'est l'engagement qu'il va mettre dans la voie.
30-year-old athlete born in 1981, lives in Manilou. This is our world ranked number 2. And bear in mind he was world ranked number 1 until Jakob Schubert showed up.
L'entraîneur de l'équipe de France qui a fait pouvoir me confirmer ça.
C'est pas lui le dernier champion du monde à Arco? À Arco, c'était pas lui? Le dernier?
First ascent of the Rambler Direct, which is a 9A plus. 5.15A. World rank number 2 was world ranked number 1 at the end of the World Cup in 2010. He's knocked off that spot in 2011 to fall down to second, which he now still holds. But just to give you an idea, his top 12 best results, not one of them is below 3rd. First at Barcelona, Valence and Arco at the World Championships in 2011. So you're looking at a previous world champion, indeed the defending world champion. So we haven't had Arco yet this year. First at Cranch, Purs, Innsbruck, and again at the Rockmaster and the Championships in 2010.
Alors là, cette chanson, elle est géniale. Par contre, eux, ils comprennent bien les paroles. Et là, légalisation des robots.
Adam, no girls climbing at the moment. Due to the fact that the wall's being cleaned, making sure that the competition stays fair. Don't want to see a build-up of chalk on there. It does build up on the holds.
Allez, Ramon, allez. Alors regardez, hein, toutes ces prises, des fois, il y a des fois, il est obligé de se mettre en danger tout seul. Hein. Alors lui, par contre, quand il sert les
There's that top shot of Romain.
C'est simple.
Sorry, Ramon.
C'est un malade, Ramon, capable de trouver des raccourcis dans les voies. Voilà, lui,
Taking it quite slow here.
Généralement, il faut y aller, il faut y passer, il faut y faire la sieste. Arriba, va Ramon.
Ah non, mais là-bas.
Interesting point from TUH. He's a very controlled climber.
Alors, ils étaient deux pendant plus de 5 ans à se partager les plus hautes marches des podiums. Il y avait d'un côté
and that could hold against him when we come to the finals, when those 6 minutes start to apply and the timing starts to apply.
Les deux Espagnols pendant 5 ans, ça a été un cauchemar d'aller les battre. Il y en a un qui a arrêté, et lui, Ramon, pour vous donner un peu.
Well, it looks like our guys have just finished cleaning the wall. That was the head route setter that was up there, just making sure everything was fine. He's now back down on the ground, which means that we should be just about ready to bring out our next female climber. That'll be Momoka Oda of Japan.
Là, c'est moins gênant. C'est après. Attention, attention, ça prend des risques avec Ramon. Est-ce que vous pouvez lui faire une simple applaudissement, le public, s'il vous plaît? Parce que nous, on ne peut pas faire une finale sans Ramon. Allez, Ramon,
and here she is.
Go, Ramon. Allez, Ramon. Et là, j'ai quand même pas l'impression qu'il soit complètement fluide là, dans son évolution.
Momoka Oda of Japan, who completely threw me when she came out for the qualifications because she's had a haircut. I could not spot her. If anyone has seen Misaki Hagawara, will understand that this is quite a reserved haircut compared to Misaki Hagawara. Momoka Oda from Japan topped both of her routes yesterday, only 18 years old, born in 1994, born and lives in Yamaguchi, world rank 14th. At the end of 2011, she was 11th, and at the end of the World Cup in 2010, she was 12th. So not in her best position. I'm going to stay with Ramon Julien though, as he's just getting to that point in the wall where things start to get really interesting. It is a shame that we don't see Patsy anymore. But you're missing Ramon.
Venga, venga. Voilà. Et ça, c'est rare de le voir faire le yo-yo comme ça, d'avancer, de revenir. Là, il se met en danger tout seul, l'Espagnol. Et évidemment, redescendre avec ses pieds, obligé d'inverser les mains, de revenir, de changer. Les prises, elles sont quand même pas super confortables là-haut.
Getting onto the highest point of the wall now, that clump of volumes.
Il la sort. Allez, Ramon, venga.
Feet completely hanging off the wall. Oh, he's gone. There was a little split moment there where I thought he was actually going to camp us up to the top of the wall.
Ah, il était, ouais, ça lui a pas plu à la fin de cette fois. C'est bizarre de le voir galérer comme ça, Ramon.
So going back to Momoka Oda now. Third at a man and boulder in 2011, that was the lead there. Second at the World Youth Championships in Imst in 2011. Fourth at Log Dragamere in the bouldering 2012. She gave Akio Noguchi a run for her money there. 10th at Chongqing 2012 in the bouldering there. 8th at the bouldering in Innsbruck in 2012. One of the most well-known Japanese climbers, and there is the route that she's going to be following as she goes on here. And those are our top three currently for the women with their results as well.
Il a presque été très souvent champion du monde junior, cadet et minime. Depuis les jeunes catégories, ça a toujours été la bête noire de tous les grimpeurs dans le monde.
It's Jakob Schubert.
Pour celui qui a gagné l'année dernière ici à Chamonix. Faites du bruit pour Jakob Schubert.
Do not take your eyes away from the screen right now. It's Jakob Schubert. He's our world number one. Topped both of the problems yesterday. Came out on top. In the qualifications, he's going to be looking to do the same thing here.
Franchement, il y a très peu de méthodes qui peuvent le mettre dedans.
21-year-old climber born in 1990.
Bien sûr, 7 sur 9 l'année dernière.
World rank number 1. World Cup rank at the end of last year was number 1. And in 2010 was second. He is our reigning champion here at Chamonix as well.
Est-ce que Jacob est en forme cette année? On va le savoir. Et à Bercy, ça restera le plus grand prétendant.
First at Briançon in 2011, first at Changzhi and Xining in 2011, first at Hers, Boulder and Amman 2011. These are all lead events. First at Chongqing in the bouldering this year, fourth at Innsbruck in the bouldering, and fifth at Vale, despite starting the finals in first place from the semis. When I spoke to Kilian Fischuber recently, he said that he was going to take a little bit of a breakaway, considering the bouldering circuit has calmed down a bit now, in preparation for the World Championships this year. And it seems that Anna is kind of doing the same. No surprises there.
Il est arrivé, il était à peu près à cette hauteur-là du mur. Allez, on va dire 2-3 prises de plus. Jacob Schubert, il était bloqué sur la sortie du toit. Il ne savait pas comment s'y prendre, il est resté 1 minute 30.
That's a very interesting fact, Adam. Thank you for that. Jacob's little sister just won her first European Youth Cup.
Et d'un seul coup, il a pété les plombs, il a réussi à trouver la sortie. Et en 40 secondes, il a sorti la deuxième partie du toit pour gagner la Coupe du Monde de Briançon. C'était impressionnant, c'était une grande leçon. Juste devant le Français Manu Romain.
Loka Oda at a very interesting point on the wall here. There are the top 3 men. Sean McCall, only man to have topped so far today. Sachiyama's up there in second. Cries of Gamba from the crowd from Loka Oda as she gets onto the final set of volumes here. Could this be the first female athlete today to top out on the wall? So close, penultimate hold now. Little Dino, come on. Oh, so close. I thought she was going to do it then. That's definitely put her in first. The crowd showing just what they think of that.
If you're from Austria, please make some noise. All the Austria team, come on, Jacob. It's not possible to have a final without Jacob Schubert. Allez, il le faut, Jacob. Hein. C'est lui qui rythme la danse en ce moment. Et ça met la pression à tout le monde quand Jacob Schubert est en finale. Alors, ce maillot violet, hein.
Just in response to Corey's question, I would assume that Jacob's younger sister probably does train with her as part of the Austrian team. They're very close, the Austrian team. Mayo Lechner trains at the Tivoli Centre in Innsbruck, so does Jakob Schubert. Kilian Fischuber's known to train there every now and then as well.
Ça c'était risqué, ça c'était risqué. Allez Jacob, come on. Allez Jacob.
Yes, Pala, it's all about Innsbruck. As I said before, climbing is on the national curriculum there. It is the country's favourite sport. And in high school, this is just a random fact for you as we bring out another Austrian climber on the female court. Just as a random interesting fact, actually in high school, climbing is more popular than football out there. The sign-up sheet for climbing is longer than the sign-up sheet for football. And that is Jakob Schubert, becoming our second male athlete to top out.
Yes, Jakob. I was afraid, huh?
That's not easy, huh? And Ramon, he didn't do the back, huh?
Ah, il a dit, hein, c'était pas les vacances, hein, Jacob. De toute façon, il a flippé déjà sur les qualifiés. Hein. Mais bon, voilà, le talent fait que deux de nos grimpeurs sortent la voie, Jacob Schubert et Sean McCall, et deux grands talents en plus. Hein. Jacob, Jacob,
There's Magdalena Rock.
Jacob, can you go on the stage, please?
Topped both of their problems yesterday, 18 years old.
And
Born in
put your hand up like you
1994.
knows. Everybody, please, make
Ranked
some noise
13th.
for the
World Cup ranking at the end of
Jacob Schubert,
last year
il
was
adore
18th.
Il adore l'ambiance française.
She starts her climb as Jakob Schubert salutes the crowd and makes his way back into the ISO.
Allez, la petite Autrichienne Magdalena.
And that is
C'est
the end
pour Maxi.
for the men. All of our male athletes have climbed now.
Allez, Magdalena Narok, c'est pareil. Première année de junior, elle est très très jeune. Ensuite, on aura Seyran Han, la coréenne. Charlotte Durif, le plus gros palmarès de tous les temps chez les filles, 5 fois championne du monde junior. La française. Ensuite, on aura Johanna Ernst, celle qui avait presque fait comme Jakob Schubert. Elle avait gagné 5 étapes de Coupe du Monde l'année de ses 16 ans. Et après, elle a été blessée, Johanna. Et la Coréenne Kim Ja-in, qui est une légende de Corée, tout petit modèle comme dit.
And there are the top 3 men for you. Sean McCall, Jakob Schubert and Sachi Ama.
Mina Markovic,
Schubert,
qui risque encore de nous faire
Ama.
rêver. Et hier, elle nous a prouvé qu'elle était
Ama, the number 3,
Mina
Schubert,
Markovic,
the number 2
avec 2 qualifications très très faciles.
in the world.
Allez Magda. Pour les Autrichiens de Sébig. Ah si, yes. What does the team of the I didn't hear. Allez Magda. Ah.
More word jokes about Magdalena's name. She's rocking it halfway up this wall right now. I have never seen a climber rock so hard. And you can just see that clamp there rocking as she makes her way above it. Any other puns, just keep them coming in. And how has the DJ missed out We Will Rock You? I don't know. He's been so on it so far with the comedy songs. Disappointed, Mr. DJ. Oh no, no, here it is. He doesn't miss a trick, this guy. We have been joined by We Will Rock You. I'm loving this. I didn't even speak to him, he just knew. And now he's singing. God, this guy just keeps getting better. So we're with the women now. Going to keep that in full screen. There's our top shot. You can see the Peugeot sign there. Oh no, there's the top shot. Yes, Mally, I just had to take a moment to go away and laugh about that because the DJ, as we've been talking about, has been so on it with the song so far, and I thought he was going to miss We Will Rock You for Magdalena Rock, but no, doesn't miss a trick. Adam, you are firing out the interesting facts today. Magdalena's little brother Bernard was the 2011 World Youth Champion. Adam, where are you? Are you in Chamonix? Do you want to come and co-commentate with me? I've lost Chris, so I need someone. You seem to have all the facts.
Go, remember, she's a young climber, Magdalena Rock, come on.
Right,
She's junior.
French crowd really trying to drive Magdalena Rock up this wall now. We want to see a female top.
Go, go. T'as pas une chanson qui parle de Magdalena?
Oh, Adam, you let me down.
Improvise. Allez, Magdi, allez, come on, go! Go,
Right, these are the final 3 volumes on the wall now. She's just gone. Round of applause from the crowd. Relatively reserved response as Magdalena comes down. There you are on the wide shot. You can see kind of what the angle is that I'm talking about here. Try and get a close shot of that for you later so you can see that 30-degree incline that our climbers are having to navigate around. And here are our results so far. So our 8 finalists are cut off at Hyun Bin Min, which is such a shame. In fact, Schubert's not on there yet either, so these aren't completely up to date. It's looking like Hyun Bin Min and Akito Matsushima are both not going to be in the final. Schubert definitely is. Now it's saying there Jakob Schubert's at a height of 39. That's definitely wrong because he topped. Now, bear with us for a second. I'm just going to try and find out about that because we might have had something happen there with Jakob Schubert. It was logged as a top, and that's been changed to 39. So I will go and do a little bit of hunting out some information for you about that in a minute, just to make sure we know what's going on. We're here currently. Ah, that's an interesting thing. So apparently someone's saying that he towed into the bolt. Right, okay. Thank you, Sheila. I'll get that all confirmed and sorted. But it is looking like we might not see Jakob Schubert in the finals now. We're going to have 8 from each, 8 from the men, 8 from the women in the finals. And it's looking like we might have just lost Jakob Schubert. Just the biggest shock of the weekend, definitely. Even above having the world record broken in the speed 4 times. I can see the head route setters just heading off to have a meeting with the IFSC officials.
She's crazy.
I'm just going to hold fire a little bit on the Jakob Schubert situation and get back to the wall. I will try and find out what exactly is going on there. Thank you, Sheila, for keeping us updated. I believe you did the commentary here last year, Sheila. I was chatting to Owen about that recently when we lost Johnny. Currently on the wall we have Seoran Han of Korea, topped both of her problems yesterday. 20 years old, born in 1992 in Seoul, lives in Suwon City. Second at the Asian Championships in Chuncheon in Korea in 2009. World ranked 11th. World Cup ranked at the end of 2011 was 13th. 9th at Barcelona in 2011. 15th at Cranj in 2011. And 5th at Amman.
Non, tu reprends le son. Allez, c'est Iran, on va pas la laisser quand même sans son. Hein.
Here are the top 2 results for the women as they stand at the moment. I'm just going to go and have a chat to Sia, our technical delegate here. I'm going to find out what's going on with Jakob. I'll be back in 2.
Là, elle est bien, là. Si vous prenez les photos de ce côté-là, vous avez le glacier, hein. Le glacier des Bossons. Franchement, c'est des images incroyables. Hein. Ça, c'est ce qui fait rêver nos grimpeurs. Allez, la Corée, Corée, please, make some noise, clap your hand. Allez, Sevan, allez.
Okay, so I've gone and done some hunting. I just had to chat to Sia, who's our technical delegate here in Chamonix. His actual official response was no comment. Jakob Schuber did top the wall just moments ago, but there is something going on with him towing one of the clips here. And so Sia is saying you're going to have to wait until the competition is finished and for that 20-minute appeal zone, because we could have an appeal from Jakob Schuber. I have a feeling we probably will. So that's the information that I have for you as it stands at the moment.
Un pour les Coréens, c'est Asia, pour les Japonais, c'est Gamba, pour les Slovènes, c'est Heide, les Russes, Davai.
Domenico, I'm not sure which of the climbers will be at the Adidas Rock Tour. I'm imagining quite a few of them will. I'm sure Killian will be around there. Jakob will definitely turn up.
Tout petit modèle, les deux meilleures grimpeuses coréennes, de toute façon, c'est la même école. C'est comme Ramon. Par contre, là, on voit quand même la sensualité, la grâce féminine. Ça n'empêche pas la puissance physique, parce qu'elles s'entraînent énormément, ces deux demoiselles. Allez, c'est
It's all right, Puppy. Don't get too stressed. We're just waiting for the appeal. I knew that he'd say something like that. I just wanted to know what the judges were saying at the moment.
Les Japonais, ils ont les cheveux colorés. On fait des couleurs, ça c'est pour la Coupe du Monde. Asia, Asia.
Sia and Han at a very interesting point. Commentators curse. And that could see her into the final here. Next up will be Charlotte Durif of France.
Du côté des stratégies, c'est super classe. Là, je pense que ce soir, on va inverser la donne. On va mettre le public dans les VIP dans le public. Parce que là, au niveau du CNRS, c'est super difficile d'applaudir avec les mains dans les poches. Je dis ça à la petite blonde sur la chaise.
Not sure about whether the Youth World Cups will be broadcast live, Corey. That is something that I think depends on audience requesting for it via the IFSC.
Junior 1, elle s'était ratée,
the organisers there.
Deuxième à 1 seconde d'être championne du monde. Junior 2, championne du monde, championne d'Europe à l'âge de 16 ans. Applaudissements pour la meilleure performeur de tous les temps chez les filles, Charlotte Durif, France. Et elle nous a stressé parce que Charlotte Durif, c'est un petit peu notre escargot. Vous allez voir, 8 minutes, c'est le temps maximum. Hier, elle avait 6 minutes pour faire les deux voies de qualif. Première voie, elle finit à 16 secondes de la fin du chrono. Deuxième voie, elle finit à 7 secondes de la fin du chrono.
V3N99. Okay, the male route, I think, has been. Yeah, it was only cleaned once. I think the female route's been cleaned twice. Not exactly sure on that. I think that kind of rests in the judges and in the officials here, and what the climbers say when they come down from the wall. Of course, in bouldering, we usually see the climbers coming and stealing the brushes off the volunteers and cleaning the wall themselves. Can't really do that when the wall's 15 meters high. So I guess we have to just rely on what the technical officials are saying about that. This is not the last female climber, no.
L'année où elle avait remporté le titre de championne d'Europe à 16 ans, championne d'Europe senior, il y avait 30 personnes à l'applaudir, c'était en Russie. Et merci, c'est partie de nos grandes possibilités de médailles. Championne de France en titre toujours, pour la 3e fois d'affilée.
In response to an earlier question, Puppy, I have checked my facts. The IFSC.TV will be covering the World Youths. In fact, the man that's organising it and running it is actually here.
académique de l'escalade. Alors si vous regardez bien sur l'écran géant, de temps en temps,
We're here with Charlotte Durif of France. Topped both of her routes yesterday, 21-year-old climber. First at Chamonix in 2010. You're looking at a Chamonix previous champion, world ranked 9th. She was 9th at the end of last year. She was 6th at the end of 2010. 7th at Crange in 2011. 6th at both Zinning and Briançon in 2011. 6th at Amman in Jordan. And 5th at Chamonix in 2011 as well. Born in Bel-Air. Taking it slow and steady here, Charlotte Durif.
Est-ce qu'on peut taper un peu dans les mains, s'il vous plaît? Juste battre la rythmique pour voir. Pour Charlotte Durif, c'est la dernière française. Allez, s'il vous plaît, tous en même temps. La la la. Les VIP là. La 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 la.
Not the DJ singing again.
La la la. Les gens dans le public là-bas et tout le monde. La 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 la. Alors, Manu Romain. Tape dans les mains, Manu, tape dans les mains, leader de l'équipe de France de Nice. Allez pour Charlotte Durif, s'il vous plaît, toutes les gens près des barrières là. S'il vous plaît, elle vous entend. Même les Russes, les rails, make some noise. Les Russes, ils adorent cette chanson. Allez Charlotte, allez, on a...
Okay, so we're currently on Charlotte Durif. After her, we have Johanna Ernst, Yayan Kim, and Mina Markovic. So just 3 climbers left after Durif. Just 3 after Durif.
Allez Charlotte, allez. En plus, c'est une histoire première. Oh, ça va l'énerver ça. Four beats. Clip beats. Climb beats. Move beats. Allez Charlotte, allez. Allez, c'est reparti, là ça va envoyer. Elle a le temps de repos, tout est calculé dans sa voix. Elle a une méthodologie incroyable, un déchiffrage de voix généralement parfait.
Looks like the weather's going to hold out here for us. Fingers crossed. Still a lot of cloud coverage up in the mountains around here. Don't want to be rained off.
La mieux affûtée, avec une expérience déjà très très forte au niveau international depuis...
Sad to see you go, Domenico.
Quand on l'avait vu la première année, elle avait 8 ans, on savait déjà qu'elle allait avoir ce niveau-là.
Love to have you back for the finals if you can make it. I know the time difference can be quite tricky.
Et depuis, elle nous a jamais déçus, Charlotte. Elle a toujours été...
We've got to thank you guys in the chat for your commitment. If you are joining us from around the world, do get onto the Twitter and onto the Facebook.
Sur son site internet, allez voir un peu tout ce qu'elle fait, toutes les croix qu'elle fait, tout le palmarès.
Let's get the word out, get more people into the chat room.
Allez Charlotte, et derrière il en restera 3 seulement.
Can we get some support in the chat right now for Charlotte Durif as she starts to make her way around the top of that overhang? Who's here for her? And those are the scores to beat. Somebody was asking for them a moment ago. Momoka Oda, 47 plus. Helene Génécourt. Oh, just lost it.
Ça va peut-être être la première à nous sortir la voix. Allez Charlotte, encore un petit temps de repos. Alors je vous rappelle que ces temps de repos, non seulement ils servent à reposer, délier le bras droit, le bras gauche, relâcher un peu les abdos, relâcher la pression, mais surtout, le gros point d'un temps de repos comme ça, c'est d'observer, de visualiser encore une fois la voix de plus près que tout à l'heure quand elle est au sol. Donc là vraiment elle affine le petit relief des prises. Regardez ça, elle est en train de tout calculer, ça rentre dans sa tête comme un ordinateur. Et ensuite dès qu'elle a décidé d'envoyer, c'est parti. Allez chat, allez chat, allez chat, allez, on y va s'il vous plaît le public, on lève les mains, on fait du bruit, on tape les mains, on crie.
Right, I've just been on another adventure, just trying to find out how much time Charlotte Durif has left. And it's less than 1 minute 30 seconds now. Just to answer you there, Sheila. So she's really took her time here getting up the wall. She's got to push for this if she wants to top here.
Et voilà, c'est pour ça qu'il faut toujours pousser, surtout sur les dernières parties de voie. Terminé pour Charlotte Durif, on peut l'applaudir très fort. Championne de France.
Definitely not happy about that. At the point that she was at the wall, could possibly see her into the finals. Try and bring up those results for you in a second as the judges send them in. If you want to get your hands on the results before I start talking about them and before we start showing them, you can get onto ifsc-climbing.org. But here they come. This is as it stands at the moment. That 8th position is Katharina Porsche with 42 plus. That's the one to beat. If you want to have that place in the finals amongst the 8 there. And here are some of the athletes that won't be making it to the final.
Mais elle avait remporté ce titre de championne d'Europe lors de sa première année de cadette, mais à Bercy. Je vous demande un ténor d'applaudissement pour mademoiselle Johanna Ernst. Johanna Ernst, c'était la petite Jacob Schubert de l'époque. Elle avait remporté 5 coupes du monde sur 9, cette demoiselle. Elle était très tendue comme étant une légende vivante.
Okay, so I've just been told that the word on the street, as we say, is that there is going to be a review of the Schubert climb. So the judges have their hands on the tape, and they're going to go and have another little look at it to try and decide what's going on. Because as you can see here, when we're bringing up the list so far of the lead semi-final, McCall's there with his top, but Schubert isn't. So the cut-off point is at Thomas Ballet, who no doubt right now is extremely nervous. Let's take you back onto the wall. Johanna Ernst of Austria has been climbing since she was 8 years old. Topped both of the routes here yesterday. 19-year-old athlete born in 1992, lives in Kinberg, which if you say it in a British accent is Kindberg. I want to live in Kindberg. World rank 6th. World Cup ranking at the end of 2011 was 6th. She's the youngest lead climber to be a world champion. She did it at the age of 15. And was also the only athlete to top there at that World Championship. Here are some of her past achievements. Let's start off with the most important one for this competition, and that is that she was first here at Chamonix in 2009. She's been a champion here before. 4th at Barcelona in 2011. First at Valence and Boulder in 2011. First at the Climbing World Cup in Xai in China in 2009. Which I think was the World Championships actually. She was 4th at the Climbing World Championships in Arco in 2011 and 2nd at the European Championships in Innsbruck in 2010. Another Austrian climber. We know what we expect from the Austrian climbers.
On peut avoir de café du côté. Du côté national, on peut avoir de café pour le DJ s'il vous plaît. La buvette de Chamonix, on vous rappelle que vous avez la buvette qui vous attend. Et les t-shirts de la Coupe du Monde aussi sur le stand 7-4 Printer. N'oubliez pas non plus d'aller voir nos partenaires de l'autre côté, Adidas, la marque de Romain Desgranges, Ramanel. On retrouve ABK, la légendaire marque, le stand de la Fédération Française Montagne Escalade. On retrouve Jumeau, les lunettes, le stand de l'UCPA, nos amis du PGHM, tout le monde, tous les partenaires et bien aussi partenaires de la première journée de cette Coupe du Monde. Go Johanna, come on! Allez, pour l'instant ça se passe très bien pour Johanna Ernst. Yeah, bam bam, naturalisé, Chaka Khan. Chaka de cette rigueur. Allez, Johanna, allez.
Yes, Johanna is still climbing.
Everybody please, Austria team, you have to give the last big applause. It's the last climber from Austria.
I don't know whether any of you caught Vienna in the finals there, but we actually had an interview with Heiko, the Austrian coach. I had a chat to him. It was him and I was talking about the schools in Austria, making climbing such an important sport there.
Come on. Good shit.
Johanna has gone. That might have been high enough. Just about to see her into the final here. You can see just there where she was on the wall. And you just saw an official, one of the blue coats, run past the screen. I think that's still to do with the Jakob situation that's going on at the moment. There's Johanna Ernst. Thinking, if only I had a jetpack.
Le Chamonix qui rejoindra la finale ce soir. Et là, je crois que c'est la belle surprise. Après délibération devant la vidéo. Et là de plus, ça nous fait 2 Français. J'espère que ça n'a pas sorti de Thomas Ballet. Ça devrait nous faire donc 2 Français en finale. Allez, juste derrière Johanna Ernst, attention, on va accueillir le
Still 2 more female athletes to come out here in the semi-finals at Chamonix. Our first one is just approaching the stage, saying hello to everyone. That is Jayan Kim, or Kim Jayan. And just to keep you guys posted, we are going to show everyone, I know a lot of you have been asking for it, we're going to show everyone the Schubert incident in a moment, so stay tuned after this is finished. We'll show all of you what all the fuss is about here at the moment, and of course we'll keep the stream running for that, and then we of course are back at 9 o'clock local time for the finals of our first Lead World Cup this year, 2012 Chamonix. Right now we're with Jayan Kim, 23 years old, born in 1988, lives in Goyang City. This is your world ranked number 2. Topped both of the routes yesterday. She was world ranked 2nd at the end of last year, and before that in 2010 she was 1st. Just pipped by Mina Markovic, who's actually next to climb. So it's kind of worked out as we would expect, really, with Mina Markovic coming out last and Jayan Kim the penultimate last. 3rd at Chongqing in 2012, 1st at Barcelona, Cranj, Hers and Changzi in 2011, 1st at Chamonix 2011. This is our reigning champion, along with Mina Markovic from Chamonix last year, 2nd at the Climbing World Championships in Arco in 2011. Has 2 older brothers who are both climbers themselves. In 2010, Kim Jayan placed 1st at 7 consecutive events at the IFSC World Cups, and that was 7 out of the 8 that she competed in. So out of 8 cups, 7 of them were 1st place. Kim Jayan, interesting fact for you, common for Korean siblings to share the same prefix or suffix on their name. For example, Ja-bi or Ja-han, or in this case, Ja-in. But Kim and both of her brothers share the same prefix, Ja, which comes from the way that the Koreans pronounce the German word for rope. So there you are, interesting fact about her name there. Where's Adam? Did you enjoy the interesting fact, Adam? You can see her with that rope right now. There's a rope on a rope. I'll try my best, Adam. Thank you for that. Right, so roughly halfway now on the bulging overhang at the centre of the wall here in Chamonix. It's 15 metres high, it's 6 metres wide. Split right down the middle between the male and female routes.
C'est vrai qu'en Coupe du Monde de ski, on a l'habitude de demander s'il y a des gens dans le public qui ont de la gnôle. Ou du génie dans les Savoyards, les Suisses. Non, rien. Là, non. Personne n'est arrivé avec sa petite bonbonne en argent. Non, les jeunes, non. On voit que c'est pas l'hiver. Et quoique. Méfiez-vous, ce soir, venez avec les petites bonbonnes. Personne, monsieur Guilhem qui va être ce soir installé dans les...
So just to keep you updated, they are reviewing the Jakob Schubert situation at the moment. As soon as Mina Markovic has climbed, which is just after Kim, we will be showing you exactly what we're talking about. Domenico, I thought you were going away. You're back. Good man. No top yet. For Kim Jain. And yes, Mina Markovic still to climb, our world number one. About to pop out. Joe, finals. We will have 8 from the women and 8 from the men. We have 26 currently that we've just seen climb from the men. And we're currently on our 25th climber for the women.
Allez, Jain, et là, ça va commencer à être compliqué au niveau de l'espace. De l'envergure, il faut aller chercher ça sur la pointe des pieds. Il faut prendre des risques, mais sans trop en prendre non plus. Allez, vous savez que c'est là que ça devient vraiment difficile de muscler pour les filles. Allez, le public, s'il vous plaît. Elle est capable de faire un facial entre les deux pyramides, Isée et Luxor. Oh, cette petite cambrure de relaxation là, on adore ce sport. Asia, Jain, Asia. C'est quand même nettement plus sexy que l'haltérophilie féminin. Allez-y, j'espère que vous rêvez les hommes. Levez les bras les hommes qui ont été heureux de voir ces finales féminines un petit peu. Alors je rappelle aux gens, quand même, si vous avez un petit peu de matière grasse sur vos corps, mettez-vous l'escalade, ça assure un corps débutant, des abdos et des muscles que les humains n'ont pas.
There's our top shot for you. If we bring it a little bit closer to the wall, we get a wobble. No, if we get a little bit closer to the wall, you can see just how high she was there.
On peut l'applaudir, elle va vous saluer. On adore son sourire, sa gentillesse, sa prestance à cette demoiselle. Jain, you have to go on the stage. Go on the stage and put your hand up, Jain.
Kim Jain gives us a wave.
Big champion.
Just to let you guys know again, time for the finals will be at 9 o'clock local time. That'll depend on where you guys are as to what time that is where you are, obviously. That's Mount Blanc in the background. Had the terrible incident of an avalanche there in the early hours of yesterday morning. 9 people confirmed dead, 9 injured, and there's still 4 missing. See the mountain search helicopters going across overhead all day yesterday. And that is just some of the crowd
Allez, attention, dernière compétition.
that is now blocking the roads around the square. Traffic has been cut off. And here is Mina Markovic. Yes, we are 1 hour ahead of UK time. So it'll only be 8 o'clock there for you guys. It's not too late, nice and easy. Let's get a UK audience, please. There's the route that Mina Markovic has to climb. My producers just said to me something quite funny. Looks like we're the only Brits left in the competition. The only Brits to actually enter this competition were us. We committed Chamonix. Mina Markovic starts her climb. World ranked number 1. World ranked number 1 at the end of 2011. World ranked 2nd at the end of 2010. She knocked Kim Jae-in off that spot. 24-year-old athlete, born in 1987 in Maribor, lives in Slovenia. 2nd at Vienna. 1st at Log Dragomir in the bouldering this year. 1st at Barcelona, Amman, Zinning, Munich and Chamonix in 2011. A joint 1st with Kim Jae-in last year. That won't be happening this year because we've got the timers going on. And it is the moment that you guys have been waiting for. It's Mina Markovic's pants. Let's see if we can get one of our cameramen to zoom in on the logo. There it is. That is the logo of the pants of Mina Markovic. Is that enough for you? We've given you a linger. Crispus, some information. You're in London, I'm a Londoner. There is a climbing wall at London Bridge.
Allez, là ça va arriver sur le passage délicat. Allez Mina, Slovenia please, Slovenia, all the Slovenian team please, put your hand up. Allez, go.
Mina Markovic 2nd at Cranch in 2011 and the boulder there.
Allez Mina, pour l'instant ça a l'air pas mal du tout, elle n'a pas été en danger une fois, mais
It's the muscles.
Attention parce que là ça serait vraiment la catastrophe.
And Mina Markovic's back. That amazed me. She always wears that really tight cut vest in the middle. Look at the lats and the shoulder muscles there. You can see why she's world number 1.
Allez, il reste 6 t-shirts en XL homme, 6 t-shirts sur le stand 74, 7-4 printer, 6 t-shirts de la Coupe du Monde marqués Seriol.
Talking about retiring
Donc n'hésitez pas,
last year.
6 shirts.
You can't do that with your world number 1, you have to keep going. She's only 24.
C'est les derniers moves de l'été demi-finale. Ensuite vous allez faire la sieste. Allez.
And no, that's not just the number on the shirt, she's 24 as well. Just a conveniently placed bib number.
Elle a raison, elle prépare sereinement. Dernier temps de repos. Attention, ce passage il est super bouillant. On connaît la verticale limite, on sait que les places sont chères.
Apparently, as well, from the word on the street, as we're calling it today, There's that top shot. See how high the wall is there. I'm just going to stay with Mina Markovic here because it looks like we're going to have a top. We would expect no less. Yes, she has. It's Mina Markovic with her epic level back muscles, driving her all the way to the top of that wall there. Second female athlete to top the wall today. We had 2 male athletes to top as well, but we have had a bit of conjecture over that one. But to just fly back quickly to the word on the street. The word on the street is that there are apparently 2 appeals from other countries about Roman's climb as well as the incident with Schubert. So we've got that going on. Now, let's just, as I said earlier, we're going to try and show you that Jakob Schubert incident. So stay with us, don't you go going anywhere. I know a lot of you are waiting to see it and a lot of you missed it. Just going to bring up some of the results as they stand at the moment so you can get an idea of what we're looking at. And then in a few moments' time, we will show you exactly what it is that is occurring with the Jakob Schubert situation. It's going to go down in history as the Jakob Schubert situation.
Alors messieurs, dames, vous avez un jeu qui est en train de frapper en ville du côté de la boutique The North Face. Vous avez un tirage au sort et un jeu pour gagner des places VIP ce soir hein, du côté de la grande tente du Club des Sports. Donc pour être invité avec champagne, gogo danseuse, siège chauffant, parapluie auto-nettoyant. Et puis en plus, vous pouvez gagner d'autres choses là-bas. Et 2 places aussi à gagner pour le Chamonix Climbing Festival. Rendez-vous au magasin, on vous attend, vous avez plus que 45 minutes pour jouer du côté de The North Face en ville.
That we have for you. Obviously we do now enter our 20 minutes of appeal time. And stuff's going down in terms of what's going on with the appeal, so you might have to hang around for a bit to find out what's going on there.
Climber, all the nation, if you go in the resort, go to the North Face shop. You can have again a special game to win two places to go in the VIP center tonight for the final, and you can win 2 places for VIP Chamonix Climbing Festival. So you have 35 minutes, 45 minutes to play.
So in just a few moments' time, we're going to be bringing you that replay, as I said, of the Jakob Schubert situation. Yes, I have got 40 kilograms down here. Which is probably why the epic level back muscles look so epic. Right, gang, my producer's just come across and had a chat with me. He's going to go and put it on the screen for you now. We can go and see what's going on exactly with Jakob Schubert. And as most of you have guessed already, and as we've been talking about in the chat room, the incident is that Jakob Schubert has put his foot on a clip. And here it is, although I can't see it. just to keep you guys updated, we're now going to show you that again. One of my volunteers here on the camera have just switched me off. So I'm back now, and we're going to show you that replay again, so we can have another little look at what happened exactly in the Jakob Schubert situation. And here we go. So Jakob Schubert starts to make his way around this clump of volumes here, moves round to the left-hand side, and that clip to the right there that he's currently clipped onto is the one that we're talking about. Just keep an eye on that. Here comes the foot. And that doesn't look to me like smearing, that looks to me like he's using a toe hook there. But obviously, I can't give you any official opinions. We have to wait for the appeal to go through. So let's see what's happening now. Thank you very much for joining us in the chat room on IFSC.tv. That was the semi-finals for the Lead World Cup here in Chamonix for men's and women's. We've got our 8 contestants now by the look of things, although of course we have got the appeal still going on. So stay tuned, get on to ifsc-climbing.org, ifsc-climbing.org, and you can see all the results there as they're updated, and we'll know exactly in a few minutes' time just exactly who is going to be here with us in the finals. It's promising to be a very exciting event, so don't miss it. Don't go anywhere, come back, I'm going to be here. My name's Daniel Finn, and we shall see you back live at 8:45 local time for the finals of Chamonix 2012 Lead World Cup.